It is Wednesday, my dudes, which means it's time for me to talk to myself for about 4 hours. It is June the 29th, 2022, session number 29, if you'll believe it. How's everybody doing?
So good.
Happy to hear it. Last time you guys caused some trouble, to put it lightly.
That's an understatement. Understatement of the year.
You guys decided to leave Grasswind, but before you left, you decided to ruin it. Rook went to take a look at the tower with Millicent in tow for some reason. Killed someone. Saw Octavius apparently just, kind of living life, doing his thing. And then caused a ruckus on your way out and ended up burning down a sizable portion of the city walls. That was primarily Millicent and Cinder's doing, which Rook would be the first to explain. As you got back to the area that Jensung had stayed with the ship, Roger was apparently catatonic in some fashion, and Cinder was actually able to remove some sort of magical blockage from his core, which seems to have resulted in some sort of awakening occurring with him. He had a lot of interesting things to say, only very few of which actually made any sense. And you guys decided to head back on south towards Mistreach. On the way, you were accosted by a rock in the Great Blockade, which you swiftly dealt with. And reached your destination, where Ophelia Elsinore was a little miffed at what she had heard. Apparently she had received word from one of the merchant princes of Grasswind, who was rather displeased at what had happened there. So that's where y'all are. I believe you guys took a short rest and are now kind of waiting for the gatherings of your various allies.
Ben was going to come here, right?
Yeah, I believe we told him to come whenever.
Yeah. I think he said the next day or something like that.
Yeah, if he could.
Cinder or Celeste did the actual unblocking of Roger?
I believe it was Cinder.
I believe it's Cinder.
Yeah.
I'll go talk to Cinder real quick.
Cool.
Okay. So you guys are right now in Ophelia's estate. I believe it's like the middle of the night, but she has rooms set aside for all of you guys, guest rooms, sizable quarters that you guys can make use of, or you can step out if you would like.
Or I guess maybe just as Ophelia walked away from us, I'll just, So Cinder and the rest of you, I was thinking, with Roger, you said there was a blockage that you cleared in a kind of way, right? That's what awoken him?
Something like that, yeah. I didn't really understand it, but I could feel something when I was working on him, so I tried dispelling it and it worked.
I was wondering if we could figure out what exactly it was that you did, or like
What I did
of it. I don't know.
What I did was pretty simple, but I think what we need to figure out, and what I hope to, because this interests me as well, I hope to get another chance with another catatonic warforged and see if we can inspect a little better whatever it was I identified.
Or one that's not catatonic.
I didn't notice it in him before this, though. I think it was something to do with whatever happened on the New Year's.
Well, have we looked at him that much before? Not, on the insides of him?
I guess
when
maybe
he was
not to
walking
that.
around?
I guess maybe not to that level, but yeah.
I'm just
fair.
wondering, perhaps there's a way that we could
Induce it.
do some... Yes. Perhaps I would love it to be on a larger scale.
Well, if you can find another Warforged, I can take a look and see if I can find the same thing.
Well, we won't have to look very hard if we get to Zeltenbrock.
Sure. It's easier when they're not trying to kill me.
Well, I don't think all of them would just immediately try to do that.
And I suppose we do still have the token that made Roger listen to us in the first place, so...
Exactly. So, just something for us to ponder as we're here for a while.
Yeah, I was wondering about it. It seems related to the weird illnesses in Zeltenbrock that we'd heard about, because he saw a man from Adelheid?
Adelheid.
Adelheid. Hi.
Adelheid.
Yeah, yes.
When he was in his weird vision situation.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain about what all that is.
Seems far too convenient to be coincidental.
Yes. Perhaps one of the first places we should take a look at when we get to Zeltenbrog, and that whenever that is Adelheid.
Is there
It'd be a
more...
good place to start because it's pretty small.
I was about to say, is there more of interest there other than what we might or might not find out here?
Is that's like the main one of the three brothers, right? Adelheid?
I believe that is the case. Yeah, it's the largest of the three.
Okay, that's where the guy is.
That's where the governor is, yes.
Yeah. Yes, I have more than one reason to want to go there. A guy there is the one that I always planned to be first on my list. To get some information out of and to start severing some connections of the Blackmires. I think he would at least know some things in the inner workings of the Blackmires and stuff like that. Although how we would get there, I don't know. Rather, how would we get there first? Instead of Braddock or Onric.
Go through the mire?
Sure.
Over it more accurately?
Probably. Yeah. Park our ship in the mountains or the forest by the lake, other side of it. We'll figure that out when the time comes. So, between the four of us, what do we actually want to do once Rise happens?
I mean, can we really plan for anything? Because who knows what happens, right?
I guess
Like,
if overtaking it is successful
okay.
or not.
I mean, I guess we can plan for both
Yeah.
at this point.
I do think we probably need to wait until everyone gets here.
Yeah. Let's see
Um,
what the actual plans are, I suppose.
because with the warship information, yeah, we can strike first, but it will come down to, like, do we really want to spend lives on a, hey, we can fight back for like 2 weeks before either enough magic users actually get people in, or until the warships arrive.
So, is Rise like a fortress? Is it fortified from the outside at all?
It's fortified. It is a prison.
Oh, that's right. Or like even so, if they bring the warship, I should probably save this all for later. But whatever. The short version is, if they bring the warship, like the big boys that they're working on,
Yeah.
I mean, we can all just stay inside the fortified place of Rise, and if they attack it, they'll have to make the decision of do they want Rise or not, for themselves later to be fortifiable. Is how I think of it right now, but I
We can
I
talk
don't know if
to-
it's the most fantastic place to hold, but it seems like a good start.
we can talk to more appropriate leadership later, but my thought would be if we can manage to get everybody in, and we can have the access to teleportation out or hoppers out. Rise, there's no way we'll be able to hold it forever. They have
Mm-mm.
No.
too much technology and too much military power. They'll eventually take it. The question is how much effort we want that to be. My thought is maybe we make it no effort. We just pull out. We empty it of its prisoners, release them into the world to go cause trouble for the people that we don't like, and then just get the fuck out and let them have it back.
I think it'd be pretty easy to convince them to attack those people, or
Yeah.
at least just go to their lands and be how they are.
Yeah. Here, there are 2 gridliner docks. Head to the 2 nearest terrible continents and go cause problems. Goodbye.
I'll.
And then if we
I'm gonna save all my thoughts for later, so we don't have to have the same conversations twice.
I do want to bring up before people get here. So I'm still mad. But how are we going to frame this and how are we going to recover and get ourselves back into a presentable position for what the redoubt is supposed to be?
I could just take myself off the redoubt. It is my fault.
I mean, fair.
It seems like the simplest solution to me, but
I don't think it'll end with that because they'll
I wouldn't end with it, but it might be a good start.
Well, I appreciate that. But that's exactly the point. Obviously the ally thing will become a huge issue. I mean, it might. The Grasswind probably wouldn't have done much for us anyhow, but pissing off Tycon is still not stellar in the grand scheme of things. So
No.
With the other sibling, maybe not the religious one, but with the siblings, as far as I'm saying it right now, where we stand, the religious one, perhaps you could convince to help, just like solely you, without us being there, or maybe with Cinder or something. That's the only way I see that, having a remote chance of being convincing.
yeah,
The other ones, I'm sure I could probably talk my way around and make some shit up.
yeah, that's that's fair.
Ophelia, on the other hand, I'll just have to make up in due time.
Yeah, that's an entire situation that you get to deal with personally because
because personally.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that
What was the deal with the other siblings? I don't remember them all. Ophelia, we know. Octavius, we pissed off. Which one was the religious one? Benedict?
No, it's the female one over in
Rosaline is
Was
the
Rosalie.
Galbear.
Yeah.
Is that the main city over there in her place, Galbear? Okay. The one in Lake Hall is the crazy one, or the one in Rat Run?
Lake Hall, I believe.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's in Rat Run?
Flat run.
Flat run.
I like Rat Run better.
So do I, but it's not what it's called.
Sorry, that's always how I read that on the
There's-
fucking map. Whoops. Flat Run.
I can see that. The grid line is right there, so
Yeah. What do we know about that sibling? If anything.
Who's one of those obsessed with their father?
That's Benedict in.
That's
That was
one of
Benedict,
Nicole.
right?
Yeah.
Nicole, right? Okay.
Have we
Flat
heard
Run?
anything about the one in Flat Run?
You know, it's Demetrius who leads it.
But I don't think they said much about.
Well, that's Ophelia
Yeah.
and Boy.
Anybody who wants to could make a history check.
Okay.
Let's see. I want to
Yes.
see what I would roll. Let's go. -1. Oh wow, that wasn't the worst.
Like, they gave me some culture lessons in
Yeah,
my
so,
language.
Millicent, this is where your mother is from. Flat Run.
That
initially.
that's all I know. That sounds about right.
And all of you guys would know that it is the most ethnically diverse of all of the places in Tycon, where most of the other large settlements are pretty much predominantly elves. Flat Run is enormously diverse, from everything from all the primary humanoid races down to dragonborns, half-orcs, orcs, tabaxi, kobolds, kenku, various goblinoids, various giant kin. They all live there in a relatively stable peace, which is pretty impressive. And most of the people that live there credit Demetrius with that. He kind of abdicated general responsibility for the city in favor of heading up a council of elders. And every major racial group that's represented in the city can kind of elect for themselves one or two or however many they feel they want to kind of serve on that council of elders. And they all kind of work together to further their own interests and keep things generally peaceful there. It's a fairly impressive feat that a lot of people seem to have a lot of respect for Demetrius for being able to pull off. As a side effect of this, he has somewhat alienated the rest of his family a little bit, just because it's traditionally kind of held to be an elf-centric kingdom, and he has kind of muddied the waters in that respect a little bit, but by not necessarily placing his family's or his people's interests at the fore. But it seems to thrive pretty well, considering the rather rough lifestyle of the Tabaxi to the south and all of the various nastiness that comes from the Dragontail Mountains to the east.
So he's one of the other sane ones, it seems.
Sounds like it.
Surprised Ophelia didn't mention that, but also he's probably the furthest out and the most out of the way.
Yeah.
And it's also worth noting that there are some that you guys would have heard of who seem to think he may have made some sort of unfavorable deal with the Tabaxi to the south and the Dragonkin to the east that may be why they are kept safe there. And some people seem to think maybe he is giving them some people as labor or money or something. So
Oh,
He's a
Well,
maybe sane.
he's a maybe sane one, yeah. But some of that could just be rumors spread by people who would rather keep Tycon largely elf in population. Difficult to say. But Ophelia did not mention very much about him. It could be because she might be resentful of him, or it could just be that she doesn't have very much contact with him, like the rest of them. He is, however, from what you know, a staunch supporter of the old church.
Yeah.
Or at least he was.
So questionable, all of them.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't gonna be easy. Yeah.
I think it'd be
Well-
interesting to check out the Great Marsh and Crow's Pass and see if that actually has anything to do with their father. Because if we actually find literally anything about their father, I think we'd have lake call, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can go try to find my dad, who's in probably
Yeah.
near the Tabaxi, because he's the keeper of that information.
Right, because
So
he's
they
in
probably-
that desert south of
Yeah.
Flat.
It's gonna be finding it, but if we are able to find it and get information about their father, yeah, we can definitely get lake call on our side with that.
And just I'm finally noting this because I apparently didn't before. So Demetrius is the one we were just talking about with Flat Run, Old Church, Multicultural, Traffic Man. Which one
Yeah.
was Lake Hall?
Benedict.
Benedict.
Oh,
Benedict.
is Benedict the one that's a little crazy about, after their father went missing and stuff like that. He's trying to find stuff about him.
Okay.
So we
And
so we can
then
offer that information. Once if we can
Rosalind
find it.
Rosalind was Galbear?
Yeah,
Yes.
Rosalind lives in
Yeah.
Runchantar to the far west.
Quite religious.
Yeah. That would be Celeste's job. Cause
Yeah, she has kind of mandated following the old church, especially kind of in response to Ophelia's sort of opposite tack down here.
Mhm.
Ew.
She is a little militant about it, but she has a lot of, oddly enough, the other kind of predominant population in that city is orcs and half-orcs of the Galbear Forest.
Oh, that's right.
And there's
That
a succubus
is-
there.
That is
There's a
where
succubus.
Jensung comes from. initially.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is, yeah.
So she could still be following the church as it is and following the current priestess, but
Or not.
yeah, still, yeah, I'll still
you don't
try.
have, you could just you don't have to offer that information about yourself.
Feels like I should do the talking at Flat Run, you should do the talking at Galbear, and whoever can talk to the crazy guy.
I feel like we're gonna have to come back to the crazy guy once we have any info on his father, because that was what the CEO said was the main unifier of the siblings.
Yeah, I think maybe we should talk to literally any of them after we find anything out about their father.
Yeah.
Which means Millicent's father comes first. Granted,
If
we can find his
it.
abode.
Yeah, the best is talking to the tabaxis because apparently they're kind of the ones that may or may not know, or like
Like a guy.
probably have the most contact with him most likely recently. So that'll probably be our place to start and then go from there
Alright.
if we do that. And that. I don't know what to do about about Octavius again. Maybe if we do other good deeds and kind of rebuild ourselves, maybe we can try there again. I don't know.
if he's actually there. I'm being.
I don't think
Be
so.
real with you guys. I think maybe he's dead.
But even before the whole tower situation, we were kind of chalking up that town to a wash. So I feel like if we get the other siblings and do find, like, if we find the information about the father and go to the other siblings and be like, hey, we have this info for you, and if he doesn't show up then it's like, well, he was acting weird, but otherwise we have no proof.
If we could get one of the siblings to go themselves, go actually investigate it, then, maybe that would chalk up to something.
Maybe.
I think we deal with it last.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
would
yeah.
definitely be the last thing.
Yeah.
We need to build ourselves back up after all
Everybody
that.
fucks that place up. They're not gonna.
I think.
Yeah, whether he's a real person or somebody else or whatever his complications are,
They're not on our side right now.
regardless, that individual does not like us.
Yeah, and even if he's alive and well, the merchant persons really are the ones running the show,
Yeah.
who definitely don't like us.
Yeah.
Can I help you down there, sir?
To be fair, they are also the money talks area, so if we can suddenly become very wealthy, perhaps there is something we could do with them, or perhaps we could leverage our hesitant friendship with the unnamed islands to save Grasswind some trouble.
Well,
Ideas for later.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as far as
Mhm.
money goes in this war against Zeltenbrock and Godshold, Onric would be our place to hit. I think. That's the that's the invention place. That's where all the steam carts are made and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, probably.
What
Doesn't sound like
I
a
don't
bad
know.
idea.
Does that sound maybe right, Dungeon Masters?
Yep. That would
Feels
that's
like
one
that
of
would be
the,
one of the most wealthiest places.
and it's certainly
in
one of the
England.
two most industrious places, right? It's there in
Yeah.
Drexler. Onric is
Yeah.
definitely likely a squishier target than Drexler. Drexler is a fortress by comparison.
Mm.
I believe
maybe not right.
Valian
You like-
also told you that Onric was where they were building these larger kind of
Yes.
military things.
Yeah, so then we definitely want to at least try to slow down that process.
The
You
war
like regular people? Is Drexler just a big factory place, or is there like regular people that live
It's
there?
pretty much exclusively people who live there are people who work there. It's
At the
still
factory.
immensely populous by that standard, but it's mostly people who work there and then their families that live there.
All right.
But by your estimation, it's got a population of around 4,000 or 5,000 people. Onric is a larger city. The factory is only part of the city. It's got more
Yeah.
people living there.
I'm more of like I equate that to their trade hub, basically.
Yes, and they also have kind of a merchant lord system similar to what you guys just saw in Grasswind. It's a little bit more like feudal. And there are more, but there's still like more like smaller business going there. It's a lot more corporate than what you might find here.
Okay.
Alright, well. I guess we could save most of the rest of our talks for tomorrow, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hell of a 2 days. Today, is it the second? Yes.
Correct.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah,
Nope.
it's just passed into being the second. Like it's like midnight on the second right now.
Alright.
So far, terrible year.
Yeah, the last
And it's
like 3 sessions have taken place over the course of about a day and a half.
Oh no.
so many bad decisions. Nothing good
Yeah.
happens after 2 a.m.
What happens when you let Rook and Millicent go on a mission? Unsupervised.
Rook, are you going alone? Yes. Okay, cool. Thank you. Rook, wait. What? I've been lied to.
No more solo missions in Tycon. In Tycon.
That wasn't even a solo mission.
I would be
Yeah,
more
that was-
I
inclined.
know, it was a
No more talks of it. I'll
That's
just
the issue.
go. I'll limit my crime. That's something I can promise.
I sure hope so.
Alright. Good night. I'm gonna go trance.
Millicent, make a wisdom save for me.
Me?
Millicent.
Okay. Oh, what? Why do I have this D4? Sorry, let me try that again.
Yeah, I don't think
Ow.
you're blessed anymore.
No, I'm sure.
I'm gonna hit the short rest button, so that should remove
Yeah.
all of that extraneous
yeah.
stuff. There you go.
Perfect. Thank you. Let's try that again. Wisdom. Same number. Let's go.
Okay. All right, you guys get your rest without incident here.
Mm-hmm.
following morning, you guys kind of come out of your rooms to see a couple of familiar faces in the sort of parlor that she has here. I would say those of you who don't sleep, so everybody but Millicent, you probably would have heard Ophelia chatting with a couple of different voices for a bit before kind of rousing from your rest. You come out and you see her having tea with the other Ophelia that you know, as well as a kind of stout human male figure that Rook you recognize, the others you do not, adorned with many rings and kind of you can kind of imagine like a fantasy version of Oswald Cobblepot, basically just kind of a top hat and a cane, and he's kind of very well festooned, but it's all sort of old and kind of raggedy still. You guys kind of come out and you see him, the two of them just kind of sitting there. You see he just kind of looks up at you. Oi, mate! I'm gonna drop in.
Yeah? What's happened to?
Yeah, well, she wanted to come down, so here I am.
Hmm.
You see, she just kind of like looks up at the lot of you. Hello, again.
Hello.
I would say it's good to see you all.
I imagine I'm still sleeping when this happens.
Yeah, you can be.
Okay. Sleeping a little.
I've heard some interesting stories about the previous few days.
You too, Midas?
Yeah, I did. It was rather amusing, really. Did you find anything out about that?
What?
Did you find anything out?
Not anything useful, no.
Oh, that's a bummer.
We're
Well,
just
maybe
kind of
next time.
suspicious of the entire tower.
Right. Interesting. He just kind of pulls out like a little notepad and just kind of makes some jots on it. Puts it back.
You could put down that Bulldog seemed fine.
Bulldog, alright. Yeah.
That is one of the merchant princes.
Deemed fine. Okay. Well, really, we're here to get down to brass tacks, I suppose, about all the particulars of what you like and what you want from us. What?
Don't imagine Ben has arrived yet.
The Ophelia Elsinore is kind of no. We haven't heard anything from them yet, but I imagine we'll be seeing them shortly. I called for Balvar and 13 as well for our side of things. I don't know exactly what contingent of people Ben will be bringing with him, but hopefully it will be everyone that needs to be present for the discussion. Yeah, Gatsby's gonna be along at some point as well. He's really the tactician of the group. He has some things to tidy up back home. See, Ophelia Elsinore is kind of... I'm not especially thrilled at the prospect of working with, well, this contingent of people, but we will take whatever assistance we can get, I suppose.
We are, also working with pirates.
That's true. Strange bedfellows and all that.
That is... this is the most we could get.
See, there's like a knock at the door. Okay. She just kind of pulls it open, and you see there's 4 figures standing out there. Balvar and 13 are there. 13's looking sharp. Balvar looking dull. You're like, oh yeah. And behind them, you see Roger and Jensung as well.
Nice.
So you're like, are we late? Sorry, I didn't know what time we were supposed to...
Still.
Oh, cool. Good.
You're early.
Ah, great. If you're not early, then you're late, I guess. So we're early.
Yeah.
And Roger's like kind of walks in. I don't really
Morning, Roger.
understand what that means, but here I am.
Don't worry about it, Roger.
13, just kind of like, this was an interesting development.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to have a conversation with the two of you at some point.
I would like that, yes.
But after war things? Yeah, after war things, I guess. War? Nah, it's fine, Balv. I'll just go find some crumpets or something. Okay.
Is it rude of me to ask why he's here?
I mean,
I invited him
Presumably-
because A, he seems to be 13's only friend, and also he is related to Ben.
yeah.
Yes.
He is the only family he has remaining besides his father.
That's
Technically,
Does he have info about? Oh wait, I'm not there. JK.
you can come out if you would like, but
Yeah, I was like.
Melissa, get up! People are entering the house!
technically, with Balvar being alive, he is actually supposed to be next in line, not Ben. But I don't think anybody's going to take issue with the current arrangement.
Think
Well, that
so.
adds a bit of a wrinkle, doesn't it? Millicent's mom just kind of like slaps him on the shoulder. This conversation didn't involve you. Oh, I'm in the room. That you
I'll give
are.
my mother a hug.
Oh,
like,
good morning.
"Hi, Mom."
Good morning.
Pick her up.
Yes, thank you. Hello.
Glad
Right.
you can make it.
See, there's just a knock at the back door of the house.
Okay.
She's like, what the fuck? She just goes over there. You guys see this tall, lanky, long-haired, flowing blonde, long-haired human man just wearing, like, very plain, like, white smock and just, like, black pants. He's got, like, a bandolier of daggers. Kind of pokes his head in. Sorry, am I right on time, or, what is the, Yeah, you recognize this figure as Gatsby, the other hand of the Cockroach King.
Gatsby, you're
There you are.
right on time.
Ah, perfect. I will be. What is it? Is there a tea situation? I am seeing cups going around. Is that the? Yes, I suppose I'll just. She just kind of goes
You
in.
want any help?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Just kind of steps. Everybody just kind of like makes room on the couch for him. Then that Ophelia and Midas are sitting on. They just kind of scrunch over. for him.
We have another couch in this house, dude.
Yeah, there's more chairs in the dining.
I'll go grab them. I'll go start
You
like
see 13
carrying
just kind of
chairs.
goes in and grabs some chairs, just kind of sets
Yeah.
them all up in a circle. Jensung and Roger are just kind of like standing off to the side, like. He just kind of like. Just kind of looks over at you, Millicent. I've been meaning to ask, do I get a cape, or is there some sort of ritual I have to go through to join the... Oh, yeah, no, because is he part of the... I wasn't sure. I said maybe.
You can ask Ben, because when the capes were made, you were not equipped to
Oh, yeah.
make that choice.
I mean, I could have worn a cape then, I guess, but no, I get it. That's fair. I mean, sure, yeah. Do you want my cape? No, that's all right. You can keep it. That I didn't want to give it to you, so. Why did you? This really is marvelous. Everything that's happening over here right now. Yes, I am confused. What is the situation with that one? I think that's their pilot, and that's like another friend of the. Yeah, I sort of came along later.
By later, like yesterday.
Wow, very interesting. Good to meet all of you, by the way. I'm sort of the tactical mind behind the operations, the intrusion. You may
This
have
Gatsby
heard of
speaking?
Yeah. You may have heard of my. No? Okay, it's fine. Tea! Thank you! Thank you. Yes, how many more people can I expect in my parlor? Should we...
To Merrimack, Ben, maybe Ben's father,
I'll just help you go make a big pot.
Okay.
and probably
let's
one of
just-
the redoubt. Four more?
Is there a more suited location
This
to
is-
this?
This is pretty much the biggest building in the city, so we'll be fine.
Right.
Just like a series of knocks at the front door. I would assume that's.
I'll get it.
Look out there. You see 9 people standing out there.
Oh, do
I
you
have
see
to make
the word
a
out?
little off.
You see up at the front, Ben and his father are just kind of standing there, and he's got his his walking stick. Like, standing behind them are the 3 members of the Jade Redoubt that you met before, Nathan, Afra, and Indira, as well as in another one of those verdant green cloaks, Julia Blackmire standing behind Halvad there. As well, kind of behind them, kind of bickering amongst themselves, are Mary Mac and the 3 Skylords. That are also just
That's
kind
fair.
of looking around this sort of parrot-like Aarakocra, just kind of. Hey,
5 more chairs.
I'll stand up in the
hey,
back.
I can perch if that's easier.
It might be.
Yeah, all right. He just kind of like flies over the group and just kind of nestles up somewhere in the rafters, and everybody in the room just kind of like.
He's a Skylord.
Hey, what's up? I'm a Skylord. Name's Ed. Hello, Ed. I am Gatsby. All right, that's cool. Midas. Good to meet you. Right, I don't need everybody's name. That's fine.
Ben, how's it going?
Oh, just great. Nothing like getting up early and shuffling everybody into a small room that we can all teleport out of.
Oh, yeah.
Is there something to drink?
Tea, I believe.
Yes,
Have to
yes,
squeeze
tea.
in somewhere.
All right, that's I get. Yeah, all right. See, he just kind of goes in. Indira just kind of like goes in and stands behind kind of the doorway, just kind of keeping an eye on him. You remember she was his personal bodyguard. Nathan and Offer just kind of like, we'll stay outside.
Okay.
You see, Julia is also wearing one of their cloaks now as well. She seems to be attached
nice.
to Halvad. He just kind of like looks up at you. How's it going, everyone?
It's going so good.
Yeah. Before we get underway, I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of things here.
I would appreciate
This is
that.
gonna be the building that we're conversing in.
I've been told this is the biggest one, so
All right.
yes.
Just gonna go ahead and it'll take about 10 minutes. But it'll make it so nobody can spy on us while we're talking.
Alright.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, I had that going back home as well, but this seems to be
Small talk.
Well, fast talk. 10 minutes. Go.
Hassan comes in. He's like, I am very interested in speaking to the intrusion folks. What exactly are your rates in terms of procuring vessels? Probably more than you can afford, mate. I can afford quite a bit. Have you ever heard of a yacht hopper? I'm listening. They just kind of keep discussing things among them. You see Mira just kind of strolls in and stands in a corner, just kind of looking down at everybody. Roger just kind of looks over at her. Hi. She's like, what the fuck? Is this one? This one
That's
talks?
Roger.
No. I am Roger.
As of yesterday,
kinda-
yes.
Yeah, he woke
Charmed.
up yesterday.
Hi, I'm Jensung, but I think we met already. Yeah, we did. You don't need to. It's fine. Hello again. Hi.
Okay, do we
I'm
need
a
to go
big
around
fan
the
of
room?
how
Just-
you fly the ships. Big fan. Yes. Okay. Always fun to. I'm gonna. She just kind of like steps away to another side of the room. She just kind of looks over at the intrusion couch and just kind of like, goes and walks somewhere else. You
Nope.
see, it's like Ed just kind of
Cinder's
pokes his head
just
down.
like-
You want me to fly
Cinder's
up
just-
here? No. I'm.
Cinder's just standing quietly in a corner. He just like shuffles over a little bit and makes room.
She'll just kind of go and stand next to you. Just you see the spirit pop his head out. Yo, what's up? She's like, oh god.
Just push him back.
Yeah. Not even worried.
See Ophelia just kind of comes out. And I need more tea. She just sets it down and gets back in. The couch just has Gatsby and Midas with your mother just kind of squished in between them. She doesn't look uncomfortable for all that. Ben and Halvad take a chair each. 13 is just kind of over there. He just kind of looks. Hey, Ben, do you know this guy, perchance?
Oh.
He just kind of looks over it. It's like, No. Should I? Pretty sure that's your great uncle? Great. Balvar? What? Is that? I thought you were dead. No. Well, you're almost dead. Well, I'm good. I'm doing great. Yeah, he kind of comes and goes. Sure. That's something to address, I guess.
Yeah.
How bad? It's just like, yeah, almost done. Yeah. Just kind of finishes the spell. All right. We should be good now.
Thank you.
Julia just kind of like takes her hood off. Not that that's really probably helped, but yeah.
I'll go and give her a hug.
Oh yes, hello.
Hi, Julia.
Yes, good to see you again.
Pick her up.
Oh gosh, yes, thank you. She feels a lot more shredded than the last time you did that.
Oh wow. Wow, you're so sturdy. It's like.
I will choose to take that as a compliment.
Huh?
You see, your mother just kind of
Julia?
like looks over at her. Hello. Ah. Yeah, hello. It's been a while. Been a while. She just kind of like looks over at Gatsby and Midas. Oh, it's been quite some time, eh? Yes, I haven't reported much back to you in a while. Is that going to reflect negatively on me? I think we can let it slide this time. Yes, you have been. You were down in the place, learning how to sword, right? Yes, very good. Yes, sure, thank you.
She's super strong.
Yeah, she kind of signed on to be my sort of bodyguard as well as the commander of several of the regiments of the infantry, such as they are. Yeah, I mean that's been pretty. We're trying to basically just have a defense force in case they make landfall, but. Anyway, I guess we're all accounted for. I had some questions about Grasswind, but we don't have to start there. Also, another question, do you know an obnoxious green dragonborn?
Yeah.
Okay.
Valiant the Remnus?
Yes, because he showed
Yep.
up 2 days ago, or he showed up yesterday with just like an enormous amount of food.
Yeah, he's a little bit of an interesting person, but I told him a little bit of what's going on, and he read the writing on the wall for the rest. And
Right?
I suggested he pick a side, and apparently he did.
Well, he opened up a magic hole, and then dumped about 40 days worth of rations for the city through it, and said, "Tell you he said hi."
Oh.
Hi
Wow.
from him.
What a guy.
I
Wow.
really want to buy the ring that lets him open the hole. That's really fucking cool.
See, Midas is like, "Yeah, I got one of those. Those things come real handy."
Oh,
Pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Probably can't afford it though.
well, I doubt it, but we will definitely remember that when it comes war talk planning time.
Right, well. Is that the time?
Which I
then?
guess. Yeah, I think it is.
Where do we want to begin? Is there any new information about? Like, we've heard a little bit about warships in Salton Brock, which isn't that surprising, but is there any other wonderful bits of details we need to hear?
See, Ophelia Gray just kind of pokes her head forward. Yes, I can attest to that. It's not necessarily warships; they're more like massive warforged.
Oh, it's an Onric?
Yes. We have some
That's not
spies down there, seeing what he's working on. See, Julia.
Can-
Yes, I remember they were working on that as sort of like a prototypical thing back when I was back home. Yes, well, they've perfected it.
Are they building it the same kind of way that they are building Warforged?
It's. I'm not very mechanically minded. Perhaps, Gatsby, could you? Yes, of course, I can take this one. They are not being. The core is not the same as the ones for the. He's kind of gestures at 13 and Roger. It is not quite the same. There is more of a mechanical aspect to it. It is a piece of machinery, or like a steam cart, more than like a warforged would
Yes.
be. This makes the upkeep cheaper for them, and it allows them to mass produce them at Onrich, which is not at the secondary conflux point as Drexler is, yeah?
Yeah. So no
Yeah.
hope of those ones awakening, is what they are.
I think that was the idea, yeah.
But
Yes.
they require some sort of operator if
That's
they're mechanical
is-
in nature.
unclear to me. They could be.
And
My assumption is that they do require an operator, but it might not be somebody present around the vehicle. It might be a sort of remote thing. There could be somebody controlling it from a distance, but I do believe there would have to be someone controlling it.
The concept of controlling from a distance is frightening if you expand that to hoppers and gridliners.
Yes, which was... Yes, that's probably what they're going to try and eventually do. Gridliners, it's not so frightening as long as they don't figure out how to make them turn. Their gridliners are very slow.
But aren't they also very armed?
They're extremely
Yes.
bulky, yes, but if we're at Rise, it's not as much of a concern because that'll be a 4 or 5 day journey for them with the gridliners they have now. If they
and
decide to start constructing hoppers, we're in a little bit more of a pickle.
okay, because that was part of our concern was that when we heard warships, it's like, okay, now are we all going to be? Will it be worth it to even try to hold Rise?
But they aren't making warships.
Yeah, but also
Not that we know of, not as such.
so with the giant warforged require like they're able to go on the gridliners, I presume.
Maybe in
They
pieces.
can fly.
Oh,
Oh, they fly.
that's worse.
Not very
That's
quickly,
worse.
but faster than a gridliner would, yeah?
faster than theirs would.
You see Mary Mac just kind of like hops up on a table with like a crumpet in her hand. She's like, so that sounds like something we're gonna need to do to just sort of fly around and harry him, right? Sounds like you, Ed. Yeah, I could probably take care of that. Have some of my boys go down.
I
Are they-
mean,
Those things are not finished, though, right?
They definitely have some that are finished, but the question is,
Oh.
as you know, it's still a work in progress, the design, so they might not be as effective as they will be eventually, and probably easier to destroy. It will certainly
If
be easier
anything-
for them to ship them over in parts on the gridliners, and I suspect my disuse. Yeah, a couple of guys we had down there. What did they find? They said they saw them hauling parts up, and they might have 2 or 3 already in Rise, or
Of
just in
these-
God's hold.
Of these big robots?
Could be, yeah.
Oh.
If they're not in Rise,
That's-
they're just in God's hold.
but even then, God
Quick
told
hop.
us yeah.
Well, relatively speaking, right? It's still a grid length away.
But
Yeah.
if these things move somewhere in between gridliner and hopper pace, the grid length is
Well, yes, they do not move as slowly as Zeltenbrock gridliners do, but remember that the Zeltenbrock gridliners move extremely slowly. They take
Yes.
24 hours to get the grid length. So it could be a matter of 2, 3, 4 hours for them to get to there from Gotthold, which hopefully gives us enough time to get in and out with whatever it is we plan to do.
Is that the plan? That we get in and out?
Ben's kind of like, what is the plan?
if there was any chance of if there was any concept of another plan, and there isn't now. Now we're definitely getting out.
'Cause our first
see-
plan was to hold Rise, but if there's gonna be giant robots attacking us there, then I think we're fucked. If of holding it, at least.
Unless
Release a whole bunch of prisoners and run away.
Unless we take out the person that's controlling the robot.
Unless we take out unless we take out the person controlling the robot, or it turns out that they only have a couple and they're sort of prototypes that are relatively easy to dismantle. A powerful dispel could also possibly do the trick.
Hmm. And I
Anyone
do
in
have
this
the
room
friend.
able to spell?
Mira just kind of.
Mira.
Yes.
And I do have a friend there that I could
Halvad
ask,
also
but
just kind of.
I thought so.
I can do that too, depending.
And
Yes, Celeste.
your contact?
yeah, but I don't think my contact would be, he might know of shipping containers, but I don't think he's going to be purview to something like that unless they're actually building it right now.
I mean, unless it's already built and there's just a giant fucking robot in the city, he might see that.
There's that.
The 13 is kind of like. Now they've got no reason to suspect that we're going over there, as far as we know.
As we
So-
know.
If they did send big guys over there, they're probably just, a test, right? A proof of concept.
Yes, their prototype.
They're not actually trying to defend the place because, well, they have probably the same question that I do, which is why do you want to take Rise? What exactly does that do for you?
Initially, it was a plan, and if I'm remembering right, because it's been a bit, the initial plan was to try to cut them off before they, eventually attacked us with a preset date. So at least derail them a bit, so a whole-out war won't come, and we'd be overwhelmed with whatever forces they brought to bear. So trying to take Rise was a means to distract them at least long enough for us to get ground.
Element of surprise. Attacking them
Also-
first before they would expect it.
Also, if we can destroy the liner docks, it might be a helpful way of interrupting the line of communication between Drexler and Rise.
See, Mary Mac just kind of. All right, so here's a thought for you. If you control Rise, you control all inflow of people from the depths,
Yes.
and the depths, well, there is a whole population of people down there who would potentially like to see bad things done to those in power up here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not the
Wow.
finest people to work with, but
They're
speaking from my own experience as somebody who has a tendency to work with the crime-inclined, it's certainly a tappable resource if you pay them enough.
the people of Spindrift would be the ones that would want ill on Blackmire the most, and
That's what I'm talking about.
they're not. They're different than you.
Oh, I'm fully willing to accept that, but I guess
King
the question is,
Yarkov
how
is
much of a
not-
chooser can a beggar be? If you're already
I think the
planning
other-
on releasing prisoners from Rise, who exactly do you think those people are? They're just shy of the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst go to Mintak, but the folks at Rise are generally speaking no baskets of roses either. Yeah, I mean, look, I know that I like to get people from there when their sentences are up and they've, paid their debts to society, assuming that they're not extremely violent and weird, but I mean, not everybody is Wolf and Zago.
Yeah.
Yeah, which becomes a conversation of like, okay, there's the holding land argument, and then there's the release the prisoner argument, and with the prisoner one, we're really just hedging bets that they hate the Black Mires more than we have resources to offer, because we can't do the whole good faith argument when it's exactly as you described.
Hassan is like, and what is the plan then if not to release the prisoners? What do? You go to Rise, you eliminate all of the leadership there, all of the guards, and then you leave this contingent of people who no longer have any support, no way of getting food. They're just trapped on a small island?
Send them down the elevator.
To a worse fate.
Yes. I'm not for that one. Personally, I think we could work with them. But I'm not one to draw many lines in the sand, so
I think we can probably make some sort of arrangement with them, for the most part. Like you said, they're not the worst of the worst. They might have killed a few people, you know, stolen some things. Could arrange them by severity of the crime, and you know, figure out where to cut that division.
Could direct them to a spot in at least Zeltenbrock that has mostly just Blackmire people. Just so that, you know, there's less thought of them killing innocent people.
Ben's just kind of... Yeah.
It'll depend on how much we think we will need these guys.
I
Right?
also want to bring up the question of if we don't try to disrupt Godsold and Sultanbrock by, you know, at least attacking Rise and, you know, going about that front, how do we anticipate them coming? Like, are we going to be ready if they try to do a full-out force directly at the ladder and so on?
We're doing what we can, but we just don't have the manpower. We can defend
Well, then-
maybe St. Aelith, but not forever.
Well,
And
then
not the
maybe
rest of the
here's-
place.
Then maybe the plan that we should go with is do hold Rise, and when they attack us with their prototype giant robots, we take them.
You think that's possible?
Well, you just have to kill the guy that's controlling it, right? And take the controller. And I feel like plenty of us have worked with a lot of things in our past. We could probably figure it out.
But then the question becomes, where's the controller?
Yeah.
I don't know. What's the range on it?
Tough to say.
Or if we can just figure out how to sever
There
the
could
connection
be,
for
it
now.
could be the case that they will have it on a nearby facility on like a grid liner or something. Or it could be back in Anrich, or it could be in Blackmire Industries itself somewhere up in Fairburg.
Think the range is that far?
Tough to say, magic is magic.
Well, maybe we just spell it. And then try to make a controller of our own to connect to it.
That could
I
be
don't know.
interesting. Try to make our own. That sounds like something that would be up to you. I could probably take a crack at it too, but we would probably want somebody more wizardy even than me, or an artificer if there are any that don't work for BI.
Mira, have you done anything like this before?
Not really. My magic is largely innate, not studied. 13 is coming. Yeah, same with me.
Well, then perhaps after our hits in Rise, I don't want to plan too far ahead, but Zindin needs help too. I don't know.
First, we
That's
need
the
to
only other place I would think to find wizards that may or may not help us that we don't already know. But after we attack Rise, they're going to attack us back. And right
Most
now, we don't really have anything for that, right?
It really
Too much.
depends on where they attack us.
If they attack St. Aelith with giant robots,
We can probably hold down the fort there for some time. We have built a decent number of defenses, and we have a decently well-trained militia that
but do you
Not
think you would
forever.
win?
I think we would win an initial bout, but we wouldn't be able to hold a sustained siege.
one of the things I thought for taking Rise and actually holding it like as long as we can or for good was that that's a good point for us in a war. You know, to at least go and attack God's Hold or at least disrupt them. And any of the supplies running from Zeltenbrock to God's Hold, we could interrupt.
A good launching point for hoppers if we can hold it long enough for that to matter.
Also that. And I know I had a teleportation circle inside of it, but they know that one too. So honestly, I think after we take it, we should disable that teleportation circle.
That I can do. If we can manage to hold it, it's a good centralized spot that you can see most things from. Yes, you could potentially see if anybody was coming over from Zeltenbrock or God's Hold over to the ladder. And it also gives us, like you say, a launching off position for any Harriers that we want to send to disrupt their supply lines. It's not a permanent solution, but it is something we could potentially hold on to for a while.
Yeah, though I am curious to see how... Well, I'm more worried, obviously, about Seltenbrock and whatever they're able to physically send over to us. But with Rise being a part of God's Own domain, I'm concerned to see what they would try to throw at us, and that one seems to be... I'm not sure how far they would try or attempt.
I mean, they're the ones that are initiating this, right? They're the ones that want this war, not really Zeltenbrock. I feel like if anyone's going to attack us after this, it's going to be them.
Yeah.
But they would
Especially since we'll be so close.
They would have a somewhat difficult time justifying that from that point. I mean, yes, if we attacked Rise, that would be something, but the new High Priestess is popular, but she's still not completely and totally got the backing of the people of her church. A relatively word has gotten out of the various things you guys have spoken to the people of St. Elith about. And from what I hear, there are rumblings of discomfort in this war, now that some people know the truth of what happened on that day. Not outside the realm of possibilities that taking Rise could be a substantial setback in that regard. By doing that, you basically hamper BI's ability to get over to us, and that leaves God's Hold, which might be a little bit less inclined.
The longer we can keep the fight off of the soil of the ladder, the more likely you are to make it through positively. So if this can be a big delay...
I feel like if anything, this is the delay.
You see Jensung just kind of... And, just from my experience at home, the folks at God's Hold might even... I don't know, they might be a little bit less willing to go into a war if they knew that their old High Priestess was on the other side.
There's that, and the only downside is, I know quickly as I was disposed, there was already rumors going about just many rumors going around about me. So some of the people still have faith in me, excellent, but I'm cautious about relying on that. I do think it's a good point. I'm just not sure how effective it will be overall.
I think it's something that would be wise to lean on as heavily as you can, because even if it turns out that there aren't that many supporters, fracturing the support for the current High Priestess even a little bit is still a delay. It's still something that they have to deal with before they can...
Yeah, it was still waver like their full allegiance to the new High Priestess, at least, so it at least makes them not in good... It just further, prolong that.
Even if the schism is fleeting, time helps.
But with that, maybe when we attack Rise, if there's anyone that I know this is coming from me, but maybe we just don't kill anybody there, unless they're maybe from Black Mire, then who knows. But people from like God's Hold, maybe we let them live, and we just send them back to the mainland. Be like, oh, the High Priestess is letting you live. The old High Priestess. Make up your
Yeah,
mind.
that is a good point, because my other question was, okay, from St. Aelith, there's still some news that will get back to God's Hold near the areas via merchants. But, like, it's not like we don't hold the propaganda machine. Everything we're gonna get out to the world is gonna be by word of mouth for the most part.
Unless we did. Yeah, Ophelia, Millicent's mom, just kind of steps up, stands up on the couch. If you take Rise, and then we, throughout our various efforts, begin to spread the word that this is the home of the true temple to the old gods. This is the place for pilgrims of the true church to visit, swear their fealty, beg forgiveness from the true high priestess for their wavering faith. At the very least, you sow some discord in God's Hold, make a lot of believers uncertain of where they stand, and accept anyone who wants to come and join the cause with open arms.
And
Setting the prisoners free is a very attractive look.
Yes.
You want to
So
set
that
that up
makes-
at Rise or somewhere here in Zygon?
Yeah,
not
because the other
Rise?
question is if we want to disable the gridliner docks, like we were going to do that to the one to Seltenbrock, but there's still the risk of the ones to God's Hold that the High Priestess could still send gods under the saying of like, this is God's Hold territory, we need to go get the territory back.
Question for you, Skylords. Any of you in
Ed just
particular?
kind of pokes his head
Yeah.
down.
How difficult is it to knock a gridliner off the line?
Well, it depends entirely on whose gridliner we're talking about.
God's
Seltenbrock.
Hold.
Yeah, those ones are pretty tough.
God's
Not
Hold.
impossible.
Use the Seltenbrock
They
ones?
use the same ones. It's not impossible. Definitely we can target specific key points and knock one out.
Because if we were to keep some hoppers around Rise, stationed there, so to speak, while we hold it for this delay, you could leave the gridliner dock open, and if they're sending armed guards, you destroy it. If they're sending pilgrims, you let them through.
Yeah.
You should be able to tell, right? Look,
Yeah.
flying by, you can see who's in it. Or are
For
they?
sure. I mean, we should be able to tell. We could say specifically, don't come on a Zeltenbrock gridliner, you know? They got a couple of other ones. Send something unarmed, send something unarmored, and you will not be harmed.
Here we go.
It's possible.
Okay, so it sounds like we're moving towards taking Rise and using it as a focal point, if anything.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to be wary of or concerned with?
I mean, all of the
Oh,
things we
there's
don't
plenty
know.
of things to be concerned with, but
Yeah, but anything that's major that will, if we forget about, then
well, it sounds pretty good actually, because then what you do is, if you've got pilgrims and if you've got adherents to the faith coming over there, the optics of them then laying siege to it are particularly bad. Then that's going to be even more difficult for them to rally forces further. They're going to say, well, they attacked their own faith.
Yep.
Oh, you could do your old same deal that you did before. You could say everybody can get a meeting with the High Priestess for free, like you used to do.
valid point. I guess the other thing, if we're gonna make it a focal point for pilgrimage, will we have the supply to maintain that? Like,
Well,
Like-
I suppose that's where the Skylords come in then, eh?
It's because maintaining Rise, if we get rid of the teleportation, start Do we want to do that? I put that idea out there, but
Get rid of the circle.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean, that's our main way of going in there and overtaking this place. So
Well-
I'm thinking maybe we don't want that once we take it.
That's
Did we
probably
need
true.
this? Did we need the circle to get in there? Because remember, we weren't.
Well, we don't need
It would
it.
certainly
but
be easier.
it would,
Well, we were using our friends and the clock guy. Did the clock guy even need the circle?
yeah, it's a big old circle that it's a teleportation circle that he puts us to, right? Yeah.
That was how he did it. Okay, I wasn't sure if he just had the ability. He just
Teleport.
You're talking. Oh, you're talking about. Who are you talking about? Clock? Are you talking about 13?
no the Maroon.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh
Space
yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah. He
Because
was.
were,
Yeah, he was going to use the circle.
Oh, okay.
The indefatigable. Yeah, he was going to use the circle as well.
Indeed. And plus, it was already a guarded spot. Like, we just put more guards there, and unless they send something like it can
There's
be
a
monitored
limit.
at least.
Yeah, and there's a limit. I feel like if we're guarding it, we can easily subdue anyone that means harm.
So keep it.
I think keep it until it. Well, if it really becomes a problem, then it'll be a horrible problem. But
how much time and effort would it take you to dispel it? How bad?
Like less than a minute.
Okay.
So if it is deemed to be a problem,
It's just a.
it'll be resolved quickly, assuming how bad stays there, which is a big assumption. If we hold Rise and you go back to advising from St. Haleth, then it'll be more difficult.
Yes, maybe we should put that question out there, starting now. If we take Rise, who stays?
Mhm.
Well, I think I probably shouldn't.
No.
Correct.
We could probably keep most of my folks there, all of us with the hoppers, station ourselves there around the perimeter. Keep an
If
eye
you-
out.
Want to do that? Sure.
I think we're the best option for it.
Yes, I
Since-
agree.
If it becomes impossible to hold, they can bail.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're gonna go that route, I still think it might be worth your while to head down to Spindrift and see if you can find any adherents to the old faith and tell them, look, your passage back will be safe. We'll allow you back up, but you've got to swear fealty to your true rightful high priestess.
Can we get the collars off?
The collars, well, I don't know exactly how the collars work. I don't know that they kill you. I think they just call out your location to the nearby folks who will.
If that's true, then great. But
But I'm not certain of that.
yeah,
How about if we had you take a look at them? Could you figure it out?
Yeah, if you can. If I went down there.
are there any colors up at Rise to put on people that go down?
Aren't all the people in it in the prison? Don't they all have it?
The collars only go on when you go down.
Hmm.
Not Rise that you jump out of? Or is that Mintak?
Yeah, yeah. Well, how about how thrilled would you be to be stationed at Rise?
I mean, I could. A lot of this stuff, I mean, I'm a conjurer. I can do conjuration. But a lot of this other stuff is a little outside my wheelhouse, and I'm not necessarily that good when it comes to defense and war.
It sounds like some of this stuff. It feels like maybe you would be a good choice to be there.
I can stay. Assuming we're able to hold on to it.
Yes.
And I'll help where I can.
Ophelia,
You
do
see,
you feel like
Millicent's
Oh,
mother and
yeah.
Ophelia Elsinore are both like, yes?
sorry, Ophelia Elsinore, do you
Yes.
feel like you'll get some backlash from your siblings after this is all done?
I'm already getting backlash from my siblings. Why
For
stop
this
there?
specifically,
Probably, but
do you think they would come and attack you?
no. Well,
Okay.
Rosalind may be inclined to, but she lacks the resources to do anything about it. She's geographically separated, and I don't know that she's highly motivated in that regard. Benedict is too preoccupied. Demetrius has his own things going on. I think he is more of a believer than he likes to force it on other people. He just is one himself. Octavius, I don't know. I haven't heard anything from him specifically. I've just heard from the merchant princes up there, and they'll probably be inclined to do something against you guys if paid substantially by Zelton Rock. The sooner BI hears about your escapades up there, the better it is for them.
Is
Fair.
Rosalind loyal to the current high priestess?
Or just to the faith?
Or would this be...
She is loyal to the faith above all. She's, nearing 700 years old. She's seen high priestesses come and go.
Sounds like once again, if we play to the,
divide the people?
Mm-hmm.
Cause a schism in the church. Would work. Then just like,
And
yeah,
hopefully your
can
sister will fall in that.
I've heard, can we talk about what happened at Grasswind? I don't really know what exactly went down there.
I did a crime, and we
Midas is
also
like,
looked
"Heh."
into.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah. We also looked into the merchant princes and their affiliation with your brother, and there was one of the merchant princes insinuated that there's not great things happening there. Me personally, I don't know if your brother's still alive, Ophelia. But I mean, when was the last time you actually saw him?
Years.
Wasn't there something
I don't know.
weird or magical about the tower?
Yeah, the
I think-
room itself. That,
I think the weird thing was that it wasn't magical in the slightest.
Right, okay.
Though there was some abjuration in the room or something.
Does anybody have a sizable spell scroll? What do you
Sizable.
I guess something I could use to contact him. Yeah, I got some. Hang on.
Sending.
Reaches in his bag and pulls out a scroll and hands it to her. Just kind of mutters. some
Are you able
incantation.
to redirect ascending? Feels like maybe not, right?
You just kind of like, you hear her just kind of, and you see her just kind of. Okay. Whomever you saw in that tower was not Octavius.
Good. Good.
Like point at
We did
Millicent.
want something. We did want something.
That does not excuse what happened
course
there,
Of course not. Of
but
course
your
it doesn't.
instincts were correct. And this is troublesome.
What did he say?
He sounded very different, and he said he has not seen the city in years. And, well, he used some colorful language, but basically said he doesn't really care what happens to any of those people anymore after what they did.
Did he say where he is?
No.
Hmm.
25 words only affords you so much.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
that's
now I
fair.
would very much like to speak with the merchant princes.
In case you didn't hear, Bulldog was fine. he's good.
And
The
aside
other
from
ones-
our missteps with all that, before that occurred, it was very evident that the merchant princes were fine with the current setup, and
Yeah, there is quite a few swords there.
I wouldn't be surprised if even if you showed up.
They wouldn't hesitate to, well, from the sounds of it, they wouldn't hesitate to do something towards you that they haven't done towards your brother.
And
I would
almost
very much
to
like to
us.
know what happened there.
As would I.
If we could find him... Well, I don't know how much it would help with the current issue, but it might.
Well, if we find him and he explains to the people of Grasswind, I mean, we'd have that section, right? On our side?
Potentially.
And if all goes well with the schism, we might have Galbear. Lake Hall is a big question mark, and so is Flatrun. But half, right?
The Ophelia Gray just kind of like looking into the fire, and then she just kind of turns over. Have you put any thought into finding your father, Tara?
It was a thought.
See everybody in the room just like...
It's like-
Roger just kind of like leans over to Jensung and very loudly, I thought her name was Millicent. Yeah, no, that's weird.
I mean, does Millicent look like Ophelia? Like, is there a semblance there, or is it like, oh my god, that's her?
There's a vague
Okay.
family resemblance, but like her mother is kind of
Take Ophelia mixed with rocks.
kind of like tawny skinned. She's definitely not nearly as dark. She has kind of elfin qualities, but similar kind of facial shape and brashness.
I mean,
Could answer some questions, and it could help with the Tycon situation.
Yeah.
Yes, which
It was just more of a matter of when to do it.
But
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, but what was the job that you were doing around there that caused all the ruckus?
Oh, yes, I stole some potions from the swords. A few
Nice.
potions of maximum power.
Alvad just kind of like perks up. Do you still have those?
No, I didn't steal them from me. I stole them for Warforged. I was gonna ask
Great.
Midas, or either of any of you,
Cool. Was it?
if you knew where that was going.
Describe this warforged you did the job for. You
Do
can.
I remember?
Yeah, make an intelligence
describe
check. Make an I mean, it
Okay.
was like 2 days ago. You probably could
Yeah.
describe him. See, both of them just kind of like get a look. Ah, yes, this man is not a friend of the intrusion.
Ah, God damn it.
Oh,
He
oh
used
no.
to be, but he has kind of gone off on his own. We sort
Did
of
say
support
that
his.
He was working alone.
We sort of support his targets, but he is very brash and is not really acting in a way that is conducive to success. On the larger part, he has a personal vendetta against a number of individuals in the sword and wants to take them down rather recklessly, but he was misappropriating our resources and killing innocent people in his pursuit of that.
Well, then I hope he does what he wants to do.
Sure, but the problem was that he was not being not having very much discretion. He outed a few of our people and sort of
Oh, that's a little less good.
he sort of sold some of his his co-workers down the river for information.
Right, well, perhaps I should seek this guy out again.
Perhaps. Actually, Julia is
And
like,
take those potions.
I sort of yes, I did have some dealings with this person, but not good. Bad apple, but back in my spying days, see how Ved's like, yeah, that's all well and good, but You know what those potions do, right? Those things are super helpful.
I do. Did he have a base of operations?
No, he was sort of
Himself.
a lone wolf. I do
We
believe
also-
he spent a lot of time in Braddock. That was sort of the southern gateway to Astor.
We also did talk to the guy who made the potions and found out some of the ingredients
Oh,
for it. If you want
Yes,
to figure that out.
I could quite possibly craft them.
Well, that would be awesome.
They
That'd be
need
really good for
Nothic
getting-
eyeballs, though.
Ooh.
Which,
Interesting.
as far as I'm concerned, Zindin or the
Great
fucking the marsh are the two places.
Interesting. I mean, something like that. Like, Mira, right? Yes, that could be very, very useful for our people. I mean, with one of those, like a well-placed call lightning, could wreak havoc on a Cridliner fleet.
Hell, even I could make use of one of those. With a blight?
The possibilities are nearly endless for something like that.
It's just clicking as well. I feel like maybe. No, this doesn't need to be said. Actually, never mind.
Say it.
Swords or Astor are using them, right?
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, that's what they were for. That's who they were for.
Yeah.
A well-placed delayed fireball.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah, that's
I think perhaps we could do our best to sever any potion connections these guys have, being that they have obviously need a third party to craft them, right?
Maybe.
Well, now that you
Well, that's what
mention
they were
it,
doing,
it's
right?
just odd that the sword would even want those, because I'm pretty sure they're mostly martial. I don't even think they use casters.
Well,
Which
sure,
means that stuff was going straight to Sabas.
exactly
Great.
for his little experiments, like Clifford.
Roger, just like, who's Clifford?
Oh, God
I'll
damn
tell
it.
you later.
We'll do a
That was-
retelling later.
Like,
Wait, I
totally
remember
met
him
you.
actually.
Red Dragon. Wait,
The
why
po-
do you remember him? You weren't
Some
around yet.
part of me does. When you first met me, we spoke about him. I think. Insane Aelith.
We were asking you about the people you were originally there with, and I guess he was one of them.
I think you made a picture of him.
Him and the people that Rook and Millicent spoke to in the tavern when everything happened.
Either way, that name does actually ring a bell. How odd.
Were you
Like-
at Astor at some point?
No, I was in Fairburg. Somebody talked about him. I'll ruminate. It's a good word. Can you actually do that? No, I don't have a stomach. Ah. That's a bummer.
You get used to it.
Mary Mac's like, speaking of, do you have any food beyond these crumpets? I mean, they're fine, but I feel he's like, yeah, I'll go find something. Ed just kind of like swoops down. I'll help. It's like, oh, great.
this woman needs a glass of wine.
Yeah.
He's like, he's just kind of going into the kitchen. You just kind of hear him like, I'm not gonna find any chickens in here, am I? I'm just kidding. It's fine.
Just hear her
So,
blood pressure just rising.
So our actual plan of attack is
We
teleport
introduced
troops in.
friends to the Indefatigable, who dumps a bunch of people in.
Sorry,
I-
into what?
Yeah, I was wondering when we were going to have to
He's
come
in
to this
space.
explanation.
He's in space.
Yes, and we will.
Oh, you
will
met
be
that
marching
guy?
our troops through space.
That big robot motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ah. See, everybody in the room just kind of like, look, when you teleport as much as I do, you're bound to find some fucked up shit every now and again.
Oh, that's yeah. He did say that sometimes. Yeah.
You are a fount of surprises, Midas. Oh yeah. Yeah, I went there with the boss.
Yeah, that
Well-
one was more going to be a show more than tell because hearing us say it, we do sound absolutely fucking bonkers.
Well, go
But
ahead
it
and
is a valid
tell
meme.
before you show, because I would like to know what exactly it is you're talking about. What exactly happened in Mistreach here, by the way? Like, I have not been caught up about much since you left.
Well,
We talked to a fake god who sent us to space, we killed some things, and talked to a robot who controls teleportation, and he offered to send the armies for us.
Now, can somebody explain that in a way that makes sense?
No. I don't think. there
Admittedly,
is.
that's pretty accurate. I mean, if you want a bit more information, the fake god was pretending to be Selyun, and was actually like a fae goddess. Oh, not even goddess, but fae.
Not dead,
that's
still out
fucking-
there, still an asshole.
That's fucking cool as shit. You went to space?
I guess.
Or the realms
Yeah.
between? Is that the realms beyond? Whatever the fuck they call it.
Yeah.
yes.
I read about that shit.
Yeah, that was the game plan because it is indeed the
Yeah.
most
I've heard a
efficient
lot
way to
about
get
that
there.
shit. There's
Yeah,
a tiefling
he-
guy, Darmanos, back at the academy. He'd like to talk about that kind of stuff a lot.
Was he into aberrancy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Weird fella. Real sharp.
Mm.
Didn't you
Got
get
all
a
kinda
sniff
weird
of that
artifacts.
back in Grasswind, Brooke?
Hmm?
Didn't you get
What?
a sniff of aberrancy back in Grasswind
Oh,
Tower? I
we-
don't know why that reminded me of that. when
we
you-
used it.
Was something about aberrancy there.
That's the
We
extent
used
that we
it so
know.
I could hover. Whatever.
Oh yes, it was a potion that I made.
Yeah, I believe it was something else that you actually detected in the tower. I want to say it was abjuration.
Oh.
Was it just I thought there was more than one. might
I think
be
you
mistaken.
detected the aberrancy from the
the
not
floaty
cellular.
potion. And from okay.
Oh yes, from not
Yeah.
Selyun. Yes, I definitely did. And a shit ton of enchantment. Well, inside the tower itself, the
Was
only
just-
thing I saw was abjuration,
Okay. I
which I
just-
don't really know what that would. I think it's like wards or something. I don't know.
I was just misremembering them. But yes, either way, space realms between whatever it's called. There is a fortress of sorts there with a giant robot creature.
Steel Citadel.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
Yeah.
that oversees
Nice.
the laws of it, and the one that spoke to us, specifically has a hand in like teleportation and making sure things go where they're supposed to. We apparently aided them in killing some of the things that we killed there, so he was willing to help us move our people to the circle in Rise, so that way we could not utilize any of our people's spell slots to get there. We just have to walk to
comes
him.
out with like a bunch of like finger sandwiches. Yes, and I think the
Ooh.
plan was that anybody that I had that was willing to partake in the efforts would go through that
Yeah.
and kind of come out the other side, coinciding with whenever you all went that way.
Yeah. So on the other side, Skylords. I think. I mean, I guess maybe you guys are the ones that actually do airship combat or whatever. Siege the place best you can in Rise. Yeah, you know, surround it or whatever you think is best.
Then everyone appears on the inside to cause problems while they're focusing
Yeah.
their defense against the airships.
Yeah,
I've
so
got a
you hear them
potential
from the
idea.
outside and we pop in from the inside.
Another potential idea as well is to go up from the bottom, from the bottom at the same time,
Like from the elevator?
Yeah.
Can we operate it down there?
13 just kind of like... Yeah, so on the inside, basically what they've got is the big hole in the middle. There are stations around that. One of them has this teleport. One of them has the elevator. And that's where the bulk of the guards are. On
The
those
elevator?
Those two.
Does the elevator, if not in use, stay at the bottom or stay at the top?
Stays wherever it last was.
How long does it take to...
Took a while when I was on it.
I don't remember. I think it's like 15 minutes.
Hell, who would be willing to go down there and ride the elevator up to a bulk of the units?
And how would we be getting down there?
Without being
Reliably.
spotted?
Fall.
Yes.
Feather fall and hope for the best?
It doesn't sound that great when you say it that way.
Or we're back to meeting Millicent's father and seeing give us information about the other one. The one that controls the waterfall.
Not so far away, though.
Mm-hmm.
We would
not-
never make it in time.
It's not so far with Midas's ring. Well, hell, with Midas's ring, can he just open a door down to the bottom?
Yeah, Madison's ring, we don't need that.
I could do that, yeah. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Well, how long
mean-
does that stay open for?
Well, if we're why are we fucking with the elevator? If we're using Midas's ring, why not just into the
I
room?
have to be able to see the place, or have seen it before, which I haven't.
Mm.
Have you seen either of the two places we're talking about? Inside of Rise somewhere, or
I mean,
bottom
I've seen
somewhere?
it. I mean, I've flown by. I could get close enough. Just haven't seen the inside of that room particularly.
Are
Mm.
people of the intrusion fighting in this at all?
Well,
Or are you
Well,
just kind of here to provide us
we're
information?
just sort of here to provide information. Now, I was gonna say, if you wanted, and if it turned out that that was the way you were gonna go, we do have some people that we could try and infiltrate wherever it is they're controlling the thing from.
The elevator.
Also, to be
No, no, no,
noted,
no, no. No, I'm talking about the big robots.
Oh!
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's back in Zeltenbrock, potentially. And that's where we've got most of our people. That's where old CK is.
Yes. Celeste, you had something?
yeah, on the whole elevator thing, I in my notes, my friend there, he does shifts, being in charge of the lift station, and his partner's at the front gate.
At the front gate, like to let people into the place?
That was your interpretation.
No. Yeah, that
Is his
from what I can tell, that was
partner-
just how the sending was.
Is his
Handy.
partner on our side?
Presumably, I
I mean, I don't know if it's like they're put in, guard pairings or something. I don't
No,
know.
that's like his husband partner. Like.
Oh, that kind of partner.
yeah, sorry, that kind of partner.
They're not opening a law firm together.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
So I think we're good.
I think it cause marital
I
issues.
would be in
if
trouble
you're
at
just
home
like,
otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so there's that. The only downside is I'm on my last third level spell. So if we want to use it today, I would be using that last sending, basically.
We're long
But-
resting before we go, no matter what.
Resting.
Yeah.
However, something goes to shit in the meantime. Their levels are good ones to hold
Right,
on
and
to.
what day are we thinking about doing this on?
Day
We
before.
initially planned the 11th, but
Because they gave us an ultimatum in the letter that said they would be back on the 12th to cause problems.
Yeah.
You see, Ophelia Gray is kind of like, the 11th, huh? Just kind of looks over at Millicent.
Why does that day sound familiar?
Oh no.
Really?
Oh, you know, I've been calling it D-Day, and I kind of got kind of confused.
Is something we
Oh no.
we should incorporate into the.
No, I mean, it's my birthday, but I feel like this is a fun thing to do on my birthday, so I thought.
Ophelia, your daughter loves violence, I'm afraid.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, she comes by it naturally.
I kind of just forgot about it after a while. I just kept calling it D-Day and kind of forgot the date itself.
So do you want a cake or beef jerky?
Violence.
Hmm.
I could have both.
She does
Well.
like meat pie.
Oh,
Duly
those are very
noted.
delicious.
Difficult to come by. Right. Well, birthday festivities aside, what?
We can plan the party later.
I think the party's got to be Millicent.
So we've got a few days and then a week before
Yeah.
Yeah.
shit hits fan. And I'm hearing a couple of different things we might potentially want to be looking into before. It sounds like maybe your dad to figure out something about Tycon, maybe finding some of those Nothic eyes to make some of those potions, maybe meeting with some people at Zindan to discuss some of these things. I don't know. I heard that thrown about. Maybe looking
I
into
think we should do
Onric,
the Zindan thing later.
potentially
All of the
looking
Zindan
into
thing could
Onric
be-
to figure out where they're controlling these big robots from, doing some
That's for
recon.
them.
Here's what I'm
Zindan thing
thinking,
could
though.
Two birds, one stone. Talk to wizards and also find Nothic guys.
If we could get access to or figure out what the control units for these things are, it would be good to have one in our possession or under our control on D-Day.
Are we just calling it that now?
Intrusion.
Apparently.
What, we could
Members
do
of the
that.
Inquisition.
We'll be able to help, sure, but I mean, any help you want to provide on that front is also nice.
Like monetarily or us physically?
I mean, either or, I guess, but
In Onric?
also, it sounds like you might want to figure out what the fuck is going on with Octavius.
That's the, yeah.
I mean, I would like
Well-
that, but
Yes,
would
but I
be-
think that should also fall after D-Day.
I suppose, but
I mean,
It is of
this
concern.
is a nearby potential enemy,
Yes.
and I'm going to be sending most of my able-bodied people with you.
We
I guess the next question is, we have the to-do list, what's feasible in the next 2 days?
Yes, we have a lot on the to-do list, alright people? And I can't be us, so we have to delegate. Who can do what?
I could go take a look with the intrusion to figure out what's going on with these Warforged things.
Excellent.
I've worked with them before. I know the place.
Minus, if you need some monetary help, I can give you what I have.
Well, it's just, you know, the old... see, Ophelia's like, I think the Cockroach King will understand where we're coming from. Oh, you're probably right. We'll be fine.
Do we want to find Nothic eyeballs and have him make a potion?
Are you certain you know everything that goes into the potion in addition to the Nothic eyeballs?
I did ask him, right?
Yeah, that was pretty much the
Yeah.
the main reagent. The
Yes.
rest of it was usual potion stuff.
Then if you can be certain it would work, sure.
Once I have the ingredients, I will try my best. It's not one that I've made before, but I don't know.
What was else on that list?
Do we want to fuck with Zindan before or after?
Nothic eyes, and it could be.
So we can find Nothic guys in Zindan, right?
Yeah, you could do
That was-
both.
But it did
mean, do we
sound
know-
like potentially you could also get some information about Laroth if you did the marsh thing.
Yes. Yes. Zindan, we have the potential of getting eyeballs, yes, and also finding a wizard that could help us understand what's going on and how to make these giant robots work for us. Grey Marsh, Nothic eyeballs, yes, and maybe some information to Laroth. But also maybe Crow's Pass.
What was in Crow's Pass?
No one really knows.
But I just said something that will blow our minds.
That's gonna be an after thing, but
It's not a thing we
It's
want to
worth
risk
noting.
right now.
I feel like that should be an after thing.
Yeah.
Of
Also-
anything in Tycon that seems most pressing, I think it is Grasswind's situation right now.
Also worthy of note, wherever we decide to go, if we're spreading ourselves thin for these 2 days before the long rest, I used a lot of magic killing a bird, so we're a little short.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
it's in the same boat.
Yes, the
I'm
other thing
doing-
on the list was finding Millicent's father.
Mm-hmm.
that one. Good overall, like good information, but that one's gonna be. I feel like that's gonna be a bit more needle in a haystack that will require some time.
Could
Yeah,
help us.
it's
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you came back from the forest, you said that time was different there.
Mhm.
Could you
In
go
the-
I
for the long
rest
run.
there
I had thought
and then
about that
come
as
back?
well.
Hmm.
We could all do that
Yeah.
before the day of, so then we don't have to prep a
Or
week.
do
We
it
could just prep a day.
now. And
Yeah, we'll do it
then
now
Come
to-
back and then do it again.
Yep. But this also just
I don't know how long that rift is supposed to be open.
Oh, does it
Yeah.
close?
It hasn't been there before.
Oh.
I think whoever it was that you spoke to that pretended to be Selyun opened that up for her own purposes. I don't even know that it's still open, but since you talked to the Indefatigable and he said that you indicated that you would be able to bring people through it for a time, I would assume he's being honest.
he had
Yeah.
a I think he like couldn't lie.
Well then,
He had a circle in his castle place. Is that something that we could learn and take people to on purpose?
from what I've read about the Steel Citadel, it's kind of a place that you just end up as part
Yeah.
of processing. If you have their blessing, you might be able to, but that central
That was-
circle that you're talking about, I think, is their sort of output port.
However, but that's one thing that we could put on the to-do list for after is if we do them favors, then that would be a decent boon for sure.
How much do we need the maximum strength potion for Rise?
Mira is just kind of. It would be very helpful for myself and for the Scourgers, kind of looking over at Ed, as well as any casters in your group. But it's not a necessity. It would just make things a lot easier.
My thought process then is go rest, and we take care of everything we can in Tygon. Find Millicent's father, who has information about Laroth, probably. And then from there, we can hit the Great Marsh anyways, because we have a decent idea as to where Nothics are.
I think we should talk to Millicent's father first to get hints about Layroth, and
Yeah.
my guess
yeah,
is
that
he'll
might
be
that
like,
might
hey,
guide us.
hey, go
Yeah.
investigate
Crow's Pass.
here, and then
Yeah.
we'll go investigate wherever he says, and 50-50
Yeah.
Marsh and Crow's Pass.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you were to say, "Hey, go to Crow's Pass," and we should still hit the Great Marsh for the
Yeah.
eyeballs.
For eyeballs.
Yeah.
Also, how delegatey are we getting here?
I mean,
Skylords, or did all of you fly here?
No, we teleported with him.
Shit.
Why?
So we could teleport
'Cause-
back and then fly wherever.
Because if they had hoppers down here, they could go kill some Nothics themselves. Mira is going to be making use of the potions. I imagine she would be adept at handling magical fuckery and killing some things.
Oh, yes, most definitely.
Well, I mean,
I could send them home and then they could fly back.
well, also, I mean, we have a hopper.
That we're going to be using to find Millicent's father. Point is delegate.
It's kind of... The fall-off flats are kind of weird from what I've heard about the library thing there. It's
oh,
more of a
Wasn't that
walkie
the
thing.
wasn't that the whole fog issue, or am I misremembering?
Ophelia is... Yes, the scriptorium is hidden, other than those... From anybody not being guided there by the Tabaxi.
So we need to convince a
Like that.
cat
Be.
person. Guide
I
us.
could probably accompany you. I mean, it's dangerous for me to go back to him, but he'd probably understand given the circumstance.
That up to you two.
I mean, I would like you to come, but if you have to do other stuff, I mean, do you know any of the Tabaxi that we could talk to, that we could
Yes.
convince?
I could probably.
Or just like write a
Please.
thing,
Yeah,
If they don't-
introduce us.
so
Yes, I
then
could do
you
that.
can take.
Unless you want to go. This is a
Yeah,
family
I'm not-
matter. You
Mhm.
you tell us what the appropriate course is, and we
I
will
should probably
with you.
go, assuming that Gatsby and Midas can handle the issues up north with Julia in my absence. Oh yeah, we should be fine. Yes, I imagine it would be good to work with Miss Blackmire again. We'll keep her safe. It looks like she can keep herself safe. Alvad just kind of like... Right, well then we should be fine.
Okay.
So
And
I
then,
send the Scourgers back home so they can fly back down? Or do we want them to just make use
Yeah,
of your hopper?
make use
Or
of ours. Make use of ours if we're gonna have to walk there.
Yeah. Jensen can drop us off at wherever the nearest point for that would be, and then fly you all to go take down some Nothics.
Sounds like fun to me.
Big
Not really what I
idea.
signed up for, but I'm always good for a scrap.
Right.
Unless there's another task you feel more suited towards, I'm just trying to make the most use of the most people
I'm here to help, so... Oh, I recently spoke to a fella, Jared Stetler. Do you know him? Travels with a crew. What? They've got some.
Yes.
Oh!
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
He said he knew ya.
Yeah,
Flying
unfortunately.
idiots.
Yes, we killed a dragon together. What about
That's what he
Yeah.
said. They're in St. Aelith, so I guess they're helping
Oh.
too in some sort of capacity.
Oh,
Oh.
I'll tell him he can come join the war.
I'll
Hang on.
extend the invitation.
I'm not sure to what capacity they exactly can help, but they're welcome to try.
Be nice to
Sure,
see
there's
a
a horse-
familiar face on the battlefield.
I mean, on the other hand, there's someone has a horseshoe subbed up somewhere, so there is some luck with them.
Yeah. Like I said, we killed a dragon together, so he should be able to handle himself.
That's not a positive memory.
We killed the dragon. They
Yeah.
were there.
Jared helped.
Hmm.
Quite honestly,
Emotional
I don't
support.
know where the rest of his crew was at that time, but
I think the Dwarven man was getting roasted. I'm not sure.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
One of the crew got his ass kicked for us, so he was.
But
Oh, yeah. Right. Great to hear from him. Yeah.
it's like Jared.
Yeah. So,
I
like,
forgot that's what we call it.
do
Like,
I know a Oh.
oh, cool thing.
Ah,
Of
I
course.
was stuck
guy.
with his wife and the dwarf guy, so
Yeah.
I didn't spend as much time with him, but we got lost.
Anyway, sure. We'll climb aboard. I've been meaning to get a good look at your hopper there. It seems pretty interesting. We'll go fly a boat.
I'll give you as much description as I can for what we found, for where you could find them. Seems like old, decrepit temples.
Great.
Roger,
Yes.
Yeah.
would you like to go on the ship, or would you like to go talk to the genie who knows a lot about a lot of things?
The ship sounds more my speed.
Just wasn't sure if you perhaps wanted to ask questions to Magical Man, given everything.
See, Ophelia
Go
just kind of. I think it's probably best that fewer people go on that voyage.
All right.
The 5 of us is probably enough.
Yeah. Also, was there anything else weird about the marsh? I feel like there was something else weird going on about it.
Yeah, the other
Like-
Ophelia is like everything is weird about
Yeah,
the marsh. There are
everything.
Yeah.
monstrosities. The whole thing is oozing and sloughing off. It's like the earth itself there is rotten.
Oh.
Oh,
It's like a countrywide blight. I don't know exactly what the hell it is. Nobody does. So be
Sounds
on your
like a terrible
guard
place
when you
to
go
be.
there.
Why do I get the feeling that we'll end up going back anyway?
Oh, we're gonna go there.
Probably.
We're just gonna go first and get all the good stuff.
Yeah. Eyeballs.
And whatever
So
else there
good.
happens to be there, you know.
Oh, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
First dibs and all the treasure. Hassan's just like, ah yes, this part sounds very good to me.
Alright, maybe we should rethink this.
Well, takes his
we
back.
committed.
Yeah,
We're gonna show up with-
Yeah, I'll tell you what we find.
They're gonna show up with like magical artifacts that were like,
Yeah.
Totally kitted out.
just like over here, like
Look, I
This is
found a
great.
holy avenger.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah, exactly. Just lay in there.
It's in a toilet somewhere.
Alright, well, I mean, Ben, I guess you just prepare your forces.
I think I'm gonna stay here and talk to Balvar.
Oh, yeah.
I think Dad and I are gonna try and figure out what exactly he knows about the stuff that my grandfather was researching. Maybe that can give us some
Yeah.
idea.
You want me to leave the file?
Yeah, if you could,
Sure.
we can look over that. Oh, yeah, I guess he just kind of looks over at the intrusion crowd. Do you guys know anything about the Institute?
Yeah.
Let's see. The Gatsby is just like, this is a phrase I have heard before. It is a hush-hush topic of a sort. Up with the blackmail folks. I don't know exactly what it is in reference to, but
Julia?
yeah, that is kind of similar for me. I have heard my great-uncle talking about it with a lot of hushed tones and secrecy, but I was never able to find any information about what or who or where it is. See, Roger just kind of like that fellow that we were talking about before. The
What?
Dragonborn.
Yeah.
I think he has something to do with it.
Oh, do you think maybe that's the turning process?
I don't know.
Put them through the institute?
I'll
Makes
think about
them
it some more.
super powerful, soulless person.
Oh no. Balvar just kind of like looks up. It's a bad place. It's a bad place. 13 is like, easy. Right, well, we'll figure that out.
Does he know something about it?
He does. He worked on that stuff, but whatever it was that he learned, it...
See.
So we take care then while we research these notes then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Well, here's your top secret file. And I don't know, is there anything left for us to discuss?
I don't think so.
All right.
What were we doing? It's Grasswind. Listen.
Oh, Ophelia, will you go into Grassfield? Or are you
I-
gonna hold off on that?
I don't think I should go, but I would like it if after you're done with whatever your business is in Fall Off Flats, you could, so, Mr. Tarstak, do you have another one of those scrolls? I got a higher level one, but if I could figure out exactly where he is, I could contact him.
Oh.
Actually, does one of you know sending?
I do.
I could give you an image of the man, and you could try to reach him.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna go rest anyhow, so I can use my 3rd level slot right now.
I don't have much magic, but I can do that.
Do you want me just to say this is on behalf of Ophelia? Where's your current location?
Yeah, just tell him that I want to help him. I feel like his city is in need of its leader, and so am I. She just kind of creates a little minor illusion. It looks like the guy that you guys saw, Rook and Millicent. There are some differences. Like, he looks a little surer of himself, kind of slightly sharper features, kind of more refined pose, but...
Alright, I'll give it a shot then.
Yeah, go ahead and just do a wisdom check for me to see if you're able to, based on that level of unfamiliarity that you have with him. But that'll do it. You're able to cast him.
Darn. Octavius. This is from... This is on... Yeah, this is behalf of, Ophelia. She wants to help you and, wants to know where you are. It's basically the gist of it.
You make a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
Okay, you do get a response. Not much you can do to help me. Been here for a couple years. Fucking fire giants. They fucking sold me. Do with that what you can.
Hey, wow, Ophelia, I'm sorry to say this, but he said that they sold him. The only other thing he said was fucking fire giants, and that's about it.
Great. So he's in
You know,
Menavandor?
Something they did mention while we were over there was that or at least locals mentioned, was that the giants recently have stopped being so hostile. Wonder why.
Fantastic.
Where did the giants come from?
Menavandal.
North.
Or to the
It's
north.
North.
Oh.
Back up here. I like the idea of going to find the Tao and then go and deal with that.
At least that's actionable. Like, we know a generalized location as opposed to guessing. So I think that's it's a better way to go
Well-
about it, at least.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I'm not super familiar with fire giants. I'm going to presume that region's just incredibly dangerous, and whatever we go in there.
All of the different types of giants reside there in various clans and camps.
They are
Good.
all friendly.
Some of them are not.
The leaders.
Some of them are, some of them are not.
Oh,
Hey.
good.
The stone giants and the hill giants pretty much keep to themselves. The fire giants are very hostile.
Mm.
As are the frost giants. They reave the lands. The cloud giants are generally peaceful. The storm giants pretty much just do their own thing off to the far north. But they get the most respect out of all of them as the most powerful.
So they separate themselves in the forest.
Yes, but they sometimes have some inner conflicts with each other, but
Well, they specifically mentioned fire giants, right?
yes, they can't be reasoned with.
So we just sneak them. We just sneak into the camp and break them out.
If they can't be reasoned with, how did they organize a sale and stop the attacks?
Damon.
They do abide by the ordning. I don't know exactly what transpired there.
The ordning?
The general hierarchy of giant society. The storm giants and the cloud giants are at the top, from what I understand. The fire giants are somewhere in the middle.
So,
Perhaps they made a deal with one of them. Just
Could be.
put a prisoner with fire giants.
so perhaps it would be smart to start with the higher ranking of the giants to ask questions, because if we just go straight to the fire giants at violence, the others probably won't want to talk to us.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Of course, they are the hardest to reach.
Naturally.
Really, you want to come with us for that?
I'm not especially martially gifted.
I don't think you should. You don't do well for the future of our plans and everything.
I
if,
will stay then.
Oh. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up? Or are we good to try the portal and see if we're able to long rest?
Sounds like you should probably give that a try.
We told him when we wanted to do the invasion, and he said it would be open, so I'm assuming it will be
Well, great.
available.
Alright.
Well, if you guys are gonna go do that for like a day or so, why don't we just head up to the marsh now?
Go for it.
We're already here.
Do it.
That sounds
And that'll
fine to me.
Give me some time to, while we do all this other bullshit, to take care with potion that I make.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. Alright, well. Hop on then.
Great. All right, Ed, Hassan, Mira, you're with me. And she just kind of looks over at Jensung. You've got a cat, right? Oh yeah, no, we're good. right, great. Let's get going then.
Do they have a spare cat at the ready? Like,
Alright. Just pulls out a cat.
I'll defer to you, your leadership, Captain. She kind of nods to Jensung. She's like, oh, yeah. It's kind of goes
oh,
You're a
no.
Sky Lord now.
One of them.
You're a Skylord, Harry. I'm a what?
just Harry.
What?
All right, we can go ahead and take a break here.
Excellent.
Oh boy, I love talking to myself. This is my
What's-
favorite.
what,
my
15
favorite.
people?
My favorite type of session.
Uh-huh.
17 NPCs
Yeah,
in
so-
one room.
yeah.
My specialty.
Two of them name Ophelia.
That's Lindsay's fault.
I said I could have changed it. You're like, nah, and I was like, okay.
She was named after her. That's why.
Yeah, and that's what we decided. So
No, we've just got Jensung,
I-
Roger, Nathan, Afra, Indira, Julia, Ophelia, Mary Mac, Mira, Ed, Hassan, Ben, Halvad, Balvar, and 13. So that's
It's more
Yeah.
real. Sometimes people have the same name.
16. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot.
called verisimilitude, all right? Try it sometime.
Listen, Fantasy Rachel. It's a fine.
Fantasy
Yeah.
Rachel. Okay. All right, we'll be back in 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Y'all were heading into the Misty Forest, is that correct?
We sure are.
Hiking on in that away direction?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably.
All right. The path is essentially as you remember it last time, although the forest is much easier to navigate now in the absence of the weird magical fog that was pervading everywhere. It's a very simple matter to navigate that, especially with Cinder around. Takes you 4 or 5 hours maybe to reach that same kind of serene, small rocky waterfall that you guys used before. No sign of not Selyun here. Nor any frog monsters or red caps for that matter.
Also good.
Really
Yeah.
good. I like that.
Suppose we just have to do it the same way we did before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Suddenly, a dog appears with a chew toy.
Hello, doggo. Just go straight up.
Hubble was quiet the entire break.
Yeah.
Literally. We
You
gave him a
guys-
new toy on the break to keep him quiet, and so
Oh,
he pulled out
boy.
an old squeaker.
Oh boy.
Perfect.
You guys head into the waterfall, and as before, you find yourselves transported to that same strange astral landscape that you found yourselves in before. Swirling skies above, the stars, strange lights, and you're immediately just kind of weirded out because you step out of that sort of cave-like edifice that you passed through, and immediately suspended in the sky above you at like a perpendicular angle to the land that you're, the small continent that you're standing on, is that enormous silver disc. It just seems to have oriented itself effectively as like a ramp. So it's perhaps not perpendicular, but like at a 45-degree angle, with the boundary of that silvery platform just touching the land about 500 yards ahead of you. It seems as though it was lying in wait, ready to accept whatever travelers you were going to bring with you.
That's nice of them.
Wow.
And so we can go explain that it needs to stay there because more travelers are coming.
You see
Oh,
just
we
kind
told
of
them that,
puttering
maybe.
up towards you one of those little Mike Wazowski looking things. The mono drone just kind of like floats
Oh,
up
yes,
towards you, and
becomes
it just
the
kind of
messenger.
plops down on the ground and stares up at Cinder.
Hello.
Just kind of gestures back towards the citadel. And it kind of looks up inquisitively.
Are you here to guide us?
Ringing. Travelers.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Is not the day.
Okay. Just kind of flies away. It doesn't turn around, it just flies backwards away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just
Okay.
plant our asses here and just rest.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of plop down. You see this familiar looking little rock creature just kind of sitting nearby.
Is it Dwayne?
It sure is.
Dwayne! I call him Dwayne.
Oh, you're back! Ah!
It's like big of a, how big is Dwayne?
It's this. He's like this big. He's like a foot tall
Oh.
Reggie Rock, basically.
Oh, okay. So maybe like, like that. Not really in my palm. How you doing, Dwayne?
Oh, you know. I just kind of popped back up when you came through.
That is so cool.
Okay.
You can stay longer when you're outside, when we're back outside, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
You once again see the fire elemental form of the spirit just kind of standing behind
Oh.
you guys. This is kind of hard to get used to.
It was great last time.
Yeah, it's just weird. So used to being small and inside you.
Mm,
I don't know about the phrasing on that, but you get the point.
Yeah.
It was true, and yet.
Yeah, probably a better way to say it. What's up,
Oh, definitely.
Dwayne? I don't think that's my name. Well, it's what I'm gonna
Oh,
call you.
You better share your name soon.
Uh, I didn't know what mine was for a while either, so.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a temporary name until you remember it.
Placeholder name. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's like Cinder. He didn't have a name.
yeah.
Yeah, his
He was
placeholder name was
Roger number
Roger.
1. Yeah.
You really just kind of. You only know one name, huh?
It's the first thing that came to my brain.
It's fine.
It had to be Roger, and then Dwayne.
We're just gonna find a spot to, like, rest then, I guess.
Here, I guess.
That's the idea, so that
I mean,
it
I feel
wouldn't
like this
take
is
too
safe.
long.
Alright. Yeah, you guys can get a long rest here. Easy
Oh,
peasy.
nice. Oh, get
In
past
8
without a trace.
hours.
Imagine how easy it would be if you could do that all the time.
Imagine.
That'd be. Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Anyways.
that's weird. A weird concept.
Yeah, weird.
Oh, I guess we go back out.
Yeah. During the rest, I'll just, do the watch thing, but I'd like to just kind of hang out with Zarksvoy while he is able to be a real boy.
Alright, fair enough. Yeah, you guys definitely see more weird shit up in the sky. You do see distantly another one of those kind of like passenger carrying whale things. Too far away to
Whale
really
yacht.
make out anything that could be inside, but
Oh,
Mm.
another space yacht.
and it
Oh,
is
the
also
luxury.
notable that Celeste, you do retain your clerical abilities this time around, but you definitely do feel a strain on your connection to your goddess. It's a little disconcerting, but there is still that same warmth there. It's just dull.
Alright.
So you gather whatever Not Cell told you before was only partially true, but there was some truth in it. But yeah, you guys get your long rest and you can putter on back through the waterfall. It's about late evening on that same day.
Hmm.
Just head back, see when they arrive with an eyeball for me.
Or do we start fucking... Oh, I guess we're on Mistreach. We can't march. Happy ass, this is the desert. We need the hopper.
Not
Yeah.
really.
We have to wait for them.
You could theoretically take the grid liner over there, but it would be a rather treacherous journey,
And longer, right?
substantially.
Yeah.
Nice.
About
Yeah, we'll just wait. I mean, we can ask
150
Jensung, right?
miles.
She has stuff. See if they're on their way back.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, let's walk back there first.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll take about 4 hours or so.
Yeah, that's fine.
You get back at like 2 in the morning. The hopper is outside.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't
I'm
look any
fine.
worse for wear. You see Jensung and Roger are both just kind of... Roger's just kind of sitting there. He's just kind of got his hands crossed over his lap. Jensung is just like collapsed in one of the benches. She looks a little banged up, but...
Hey Roger,
Hello.
how'd the mission go?
I stayed on the ship.
How
Did
did...
they collect eyeballs?
They did get eyeballs.
And everyone came back.
Correct.
Good.
Hmm.
Mission successful.
Sure.
I'm assuming Jensung went down with them.
Yes. She's just got like weird like lacerations and piercing like on her neck.
Mm.
And she also like in her hair just has a whole bunch of like white stuff. Kind of looks like spider web.
Like, I'll go grab it out of her hair.
He's like, ah! Just grabs your arm. You see the cat just like jumps up at you and just like starts like clawing at you.
It's like,
Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, you're back.
Yeah, we're checking in
Hi.
on you.
That place was fucked up, man.
Was there Nothics?
Yeah, there were Nothics.
Oh, and spiders, I assume.
There was this thing, like it was like a centaur, but instead of a man, it was like a black thing, kind of like you, but not really. And then instead of a horse, it was a spider. It was totally fucked up. And there's like some kind of fucked up spider god that they worship, I guess. I don't know. It was really weird.
Oh no.
That was strange.
But we killed the
Oh,
Nothics
no.
and we got 4 eyes. We
Oh,
would have had
yeah.
5, but Mira kind of disintegrated one of them, so.
Oh, god damn it.
But we probably. Nah.
It's probably good enough.
That Mira, she's kind of scary, man. She's really strong.
I think she's on our side then.
Yeah, so we've heard.
Hassan did basically nothing.
What about Ed?
That was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. That dude like flies around and shoots people with his bow. It's kind of weird. He's got like little cantrips and stuff he does.
Hmm.
I reckon he was saving most of his spells.
Yeah.
Merrimack?
That's...
Merrimack went fucking crazy in there, dude. She was running around with 2 swords.
So are you a Skylord now?
I don't think so. I don't know how the bylaws for that work. I don't think I could be in the Redoubt and be a Skylord at the same time.
That's who?
Can I? I should ask Merrimack. That would be cool.
Yeah, maybe you proved your worth in battle back there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I chopped off one of their heads. It was pretty neat.
Oh.
Nice.
Roger watched the
Nice.
ship. I watched the ship.
Good job, Roger.
Nice.
I did not want to go in there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an important duty.
Yeah, I figured now that he has free will, I should like let him not do stuff he doesn't want to do, right?
Yes.
Seems appropriate.
Yes.
I want a cape. We'll get you a cape, man. I'll talk to
Also, kind of in that vein, Roger, are you just like a regular guy, or like 13 got magic when he came back? Like, do you have any like anything innate in you that
How do
you
I
feel like
test
you would
that?
be-
Concentrate
Think hard?
and try to see if you feel anything.
Meditate?
Let's see if he gets anything. In.
So I'll give him my piece of copper wire and show him how to do message.
He just kind of. Let me check on that really quick.
I believe message is for like most spellcasting classes.
He's just kind of like holds it out, and he's like, "Can you hear me?" You can.
I can.
You can hear him in your head too.
Oh!
Oh my god, Roger,
Wow,
you did it!
I'm a wizard.
Well, I don't know.
Are you really a wizard?
Maybe not.
That's so cool. Oh.
You
This
can
again.
cast spells. You can cast spells.
I could cast that spell.
Alright, let's try another one. Prestidigitation.
I can try and show you firebolts. That's
Oh yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
let's
Yeah,
do that
yeah.
one. He just kind of.
describe the feeling as he pulls from inner magic, because it's probably somewhat similar since I'm pulling from the spirit in me and he's pulling from the core in him.
Doesn't seem to do anything.
Maybe not that one.
Narrowed it down.
Yeah.
I'll try every spell.
You could do that.
Possible.
That's an option.
You could also probably just talk to 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, what's so fun in that?
He just kind of like pats you on the shoulder. Thanks for the help. Gives you an inspiration.
Oh,
Wait. How? Okay. That should be interesting.
The magic of music flows through him.
I learned it by
Get
watching
this-
you.
Get this man an instrument.
is it just because of like whoever shows Whoever does it first.
It's
That would be fucking awesome.
for a number of reasons, but
Oh.
That would be hilarious if they just like imprint on the first like class that they see.
Just Mama Duck, both magic.
We just
Yes,
go wake up a bunch of people and
Yeah.
Rook's just
what
like.
if he managed to die?
Also, just like
he can finally truly have 21 pilots.
Oh my god.
I'm depressed.
Depresso.
Anyway,
Just because you can doesn't should.
you guys go in. You guys go into the house. You see just kind of Mary Mac and Mira and Hassan are just like passed out. Mira is just like laid down very calmly, just like kind of on the longer couch. Mary Mac is just like face down on the coffee table, and Hassan is just kind of draped over one of the sitting chairs there. Halvad and Ben, as well as 13 and Balvar, are still just kind of poring over the documents there at the kitchen counter.
I didn't really expect it to still.
Indira is sitting on one of the other chairs, just trying to stay awake, and everybody else seems to be gone, or out of the room at least.
Walk over to Ben and then. Evening,
You're
boys.
back.
Yes.
You look thoroughly refreshed.
Oh yeah, you look tired.
Yeah, I think I'll actually probably go pass out somewhere.
Have you deciphered anything?
Not much. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with Balvar for the most part.
Any moments of clarity while we've been gone?
A few. He,
About the institute?
mostly just about him and my grandfather.
Oh, well, that's also.
Still progress.
It's good, I guess. Yeah. He had enough lucidity that we could kind of explain the situation about what's going on with the family to him, which maybe we shouldn't have done, but I felt like he should know. Whatever part of him is still in there, at least. Seems all right. He's just here, like, kind of muffled from the other part of the room. There, it's like, look at your fucking eyes. He just kind of like points over. You see, she's just got this like bleeding gash down the side of her face.
Oh.
Do you
Kind of hair
want?
just kind of matted to the side of her head.
Would you like some help with that?
She just kind of like sits up. Yeah, if you're offering.
Yeah. How bad does he look? Does she look? Is
She
it
has
like?
she has a black eye. She's got a couple of like other lacerations kind of down. Kind of got that.
Is it preserve life range, or just I'm gonna do some like cure wounds?
A cure wounds or two would probably be fine. You reckon she's already taken a few short rests here, so she's not too bad. She's just got a lot of. She's just banged up.
All right, I'll do a cure wounds. Like, all right, do you want to keep a scar? Or do you want me to try to, go slowly?
I don't really care.
Okay.
I'm not trying to impress anyone. See, Ed is just like sitting up in the rafters as well. He just kind of looks down. Oh hey, he's got a lot of like singed feathers.
And there you are.
Yeah, Mira got me in one of those fireballs. It was fun. Just kind of opens one of her eyes. That was an accident. Yeah, no, but still. Ow.
We heard you guys fought some spider people.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that thing was. The Mira just kind of like sits up like a fucking vampire.
And someone has eyeballs for me?
She just kind of gestures to this sack. It's like gooey, sopping sack on the ground. They're called Driders. An ancient extinct species called Drow, also known as Dark Elves. Apparently they used to roam some of those lands. That's what's left of them.
Are those the things we saw in the Panacea vision?
Indeed.
Mm.
Did you harvest anything from them?
No.
Okay, well, I don't care.
Well, that was out loud to the group, the Panacea vision thing.
Oh.
Because we saw... Well, I described them as dark elves, but I didn't know that was a thing until you told me right now, but We saw something that looked like that before.
She just kind of conjures an illusion of like a typical drow. Something like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I've read
Many of
about
them.
them, but nobody has ever seen one in living memory.
This wasn't a living memory, but it was a memory.
Interesting. I wonder what that could mean.
We saw the ascension.
Oh. Oh, that I would very much like to hear about.
I mean, do you think she could just go through the trial herself and say it?
Perhaps, if she wanted to.
I very much would. I'm very curious about such things.
Be a bit of a trek.
That's alright, I can travel decent distances rather quickly.
I wonder about who we should share this with. At the top of the Tempest Mountains, there is the remains of a Leviathan. One of the entities that originally came over from the other
Yes,
plane.
the Urilash the Dreadmaw, yes?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
In the mouth of what's left of him, there's some magical thing, orb, essence, whatever the fuck, remainder of him, that when you touch it, you experience a trial. And it took all of us into a vision of the night of the Ascension. We fought for our lives against some aberration fucking thing. Witnessed the Leviathans fighting in the sea around us, saw crazy magic, and saw the lattice start to rise. And then we were in the lattice.
Ooh, that is a lot. I don't really know. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. A lot of things that we do don't sound like real things when you describe them to someone, but
They're real.
That's
I was
fair.
hoping that eventually people would get used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is certainly something that I will be curious to look into once all of this is over.
Especially if you know anything about these histories and these people.
Hey, you see Ben just kind of looks over. I have a question. You guys traveled inside the lattice, right? And you came out at a conflux point?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you smelling what I'm stepping in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Mhm.
thought about it. We weren't sure. We've thought about it for ourselves, but we weren't sure of how many people we could bring. So, maybe not for the Rise situation, but we were definitely thinking about it for Seltenbrock.
Well, if you've got your indefatigable guy teleporting a lot of other people in, and we've got most of the people coming in through hoppers, we could send just like, you know, an elite task force, namely you guys, through that away direction, see where you come out.
Rise on a conflict?
Yeah, it's on a big one.
I'd be down for that. That sounds fun.
They definitely wouldn't see that coming.
Huh.
No.
Yeah.
We're not entirely sure where we'll pop out.
Yeah.
We'd add another place for us to attack.
It's not a very big island, and the middle of it is literally surrounded by it surrounds that conflux point. Just a thought.
Odds are that's probably where we'd show up.
A way to instantaneously pop up without having to be beholden to that teleportation circle, which is under heavy guard. That's useful.
We could certainly go.
Mm-hmm.
I would be interested in tagging along if you would be open to such things. I have crew that I can trust with my fleet of the hoppers.
Not sure how it would work with the trial, if we would need to undergo it again with you.
I don't either.
Or-
I don't know either, but I would be very curious to see what you're discussing.
Like she's kind
Can
of
I-
capable.
can I- Can I insight her to
Yeah.
see if she seems
Yeah.
fucking creepy?
Go for it, yeah.
Well, she does, but
Like,
but what kind of creepy?
More
Oh,
interesting
he's
than I-
fine.
He seems fine.
Fine.
He's Skylord, man.
Cinder, with your ridiculous insight, this is a woman who values knowledge above all else. She wants to know what's going on. She wants to understand as much as she possibly can. Certainly a subscriber to the belief that knowledge is power, and she likes power. Generally, she seems to be directed in a positive way towards you guys, but that doesn't mean that that's always going to be the case if she ever sees you as an obstacle towards further knowledge. But it seems for now she's on the level with you guys and is very curious about what you have seen there.
But I'm definitely getting some strong self-interest vibes here.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
Which she's not necessarily trying to hide that.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind
Kind of picked up on that.
They call her
Not
Hateful Mira
exactly.
for a reason.
of. Yeah.
yeah, not exactly altruistic, that one.
No. But she's not cruel. She just does what she thinks she needs to do to learn. Whatever
Fair.
that might be. If she does engage in acts of cruelty, it's never for cruelty's sake. For what small consolation that is.
We could find out.
I would be very curious. This could be useful for
Are
my
we-
research and for my students.
Are we going to be worried about time? As far as like timing goes to get there? Because I don't remember how long
no.
it took us to well,
Hike our
A, to
happy
get down
asses
to
up.
the
Well,
get
because we
up
said
there,
that
and then
we could-
also
we could possibly fly around to like the tail end of the Tempest Mountains, right? Is that what we?
Yeah, that would be like a couple hours hike.
Now that we know where we're going, yeah. Speed it up.
but also like time spent in the
That didn't take us very long, did
No,
it?
it seemed almost instantaneous.
The travel seemed fucky, and the walking on our end didn't even seem bad.
Nah, as
I
you recall,
remember-
it was pretty quick.
I remember it feeling like hours when we were actually traversing it, but
Yeah, when you were in the vision, it was odd, but once you were in whatever parallel dimension you were in, as far as the lattice goes, you just walked around a little bit and found yourselves at Basanante.
Yeah, I mean,
Another which way I could tell Ben to, well, I guess he's not going himself on the attack, right? We could have Ben give the stone to someone who is going on the offensive to send to us when they're actually hitting it, so we can get the timing right.
assuming the sending would reach us.
Yeah.
Generally, it does across planes, unless you're, unlucky. But yeah, I think I probably
Assuming this-
shouldn't be part of the attack.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically instantaneous, right? So why don't we just plan it of...
Oh wait, you don't even need to do that. We have Julia. We have the sending stone to Julia.
yeah. Pull it out.
Though we don't exactly have anyone to, tour guides to the indefatigable.
Almost.
yeah,
Yes,
Indy.
mouthful.
Very important that you put the T before the G in that word.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, we need to take the hopper out to get across the desert. I assume tomorrow is 2 in the morning in Jensung.
I could do it.
Yeah.
You, Roger,
Could do
and Jensung are just kind of like standing at the entrance. I wanted
Could
to
do
ask
it.
about the cape.
Single-minded, I can respect
Ben,
that.
he has a very important question for you.
And I have a cape. What? Sure. I'm in the redoubt.
Yes,
What?
you
I did.
are.
Oh, fine. Welcome. Is there a ceremony or something we should do to make it official? No, I didn't do one for them. Oh,
Sorry, man.
okay.
Hate to disappoint. Welcome to the redoubt. Anyway, I was saying we could take the
You can have
hopper
some jerky. It's like-
tomorrow once people have rested. We could go tonight with Roger, but if we just let people rest, we could take the hopper first to the gateway to whatever fuckery that is with the in the forest. Show Ophelia and whoever else is leading that group how to get there. Come back, drop them off, and go. Because with the hopper, the flight to the forest is like,
An hour tops.
Sounds good to me. What?
All right, so that's the plan. And that doesn't even have to be tomorrow or anything. Like we can that
That's true. We could do that after
Whenever.
flat run and
needs to be done.
yeah.
We'll probably Dad and I'll probably stick around here for the next several days.
right.
Because I think for him, it's probably best to make use of whatever it was that let you guys rest quick in the woods,
Mhm.
so that he's prepared with spells when the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
he
was
also
going to
made a good
encourage
point.
Everybody.
He also made a good point earlier, which is if they get wind of us attacking Rise, and that I'm not there, they might come looking for me when I'm a little bit more isolated, and they might expect me to be back at St. Aleth. So if I'm here when the shit goes down, it's probably a little safer for me in the long run.
Who's gonna be at St. Ayla?
We have the usual militia there. Most of Julia's guys will be stationed there, because we're probably not going to bring them to the actual assault on Rise. We're going to be using the Mistreach folks for that, so they'll
Yeah.
stay there. She set a couple of commanders aside. And we have those church leaders and a couple folks from the Triumvirate there as well. I left it in as good hands as I could muster.
Yeah, no.
And
Sounds
me
like a good
being there
call.
isn't necessarily gonna help anything. They're not exactly... Yeah.
Then seems like the next few days at least are going to be dependent on how it goes finding Millicent's father, and then we kind of go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess whatever weird info he can give you guys, that's all gonna... Sounds like gonna pertain to Tychon stuff, so... I mean, that's not really... That's gonna be more Ophelia's bag. And Ophelia's bag. That's really confusing.
A bit.
Yes. Well, the information that we get there should be quite helpful in the long run, I think.
I'm all for it. You guys have your own stuff to do beyond your duties in the redoubt, so that's fine. Can't begrudge you that. You're helping.
Well, if this is the plan, no reason to wait. Roger, you want to hop on the airship and you and I fly us over to the desert?
Let's do it.
Jensung, are you okay with being without your ship for a day or two?
Yeah, that's fine. I need to rest. That was kind of traumatic what happened in there.
Looked like it.
Do you guys want to go get Ophelia? I think she's asleep.
I'll go get mom. Or are we gonna leave in the morning?
You can sleep
I
on
think
the
it'd be-
flight.
I was going to say be polite, but
Or that is also an option.
Don't matter.
Yeah, I mean, the
Just let
sooner you
me-
guys get it done, the better, right?
Sure.
Go wake up your mom.
All right, I go up and I don't know what room. I'm just gonna like.
Just knock on a
Yeah,
door.
all the doors.
Yeah, like.
No.
You see
Mom.
Henry and Alfred is kind of like in there, just like, what?
Oh, you're not mom.
No.
Do you know where my mom's room is?
Just kind of point a couple doors down.
Thanks. Good night. So the other way. Mom.
Nathan, nothing.
Mom.
Just kind of like swings the door open. She looks kind of frazzled. Yes?
We're planning on leaving soon. If you want to take a nap on
It's
the
like
hopper.
the middle of the night.
But if we leave sooner, we can get there sooner and we can get more stuff.
Your logic is astounding. Just give me a few minutes.
Okay. Wait outside.
She just kind of closes the door. You guys wait a few minutes.
You go at 2 a.m. There's no traffic. Come on, Mom.
Travel when it's not so hot.
It's like Black Friday shopping. She comes down a bit later in her traveling gear. She's got that kind of long, thin, silvery rapier at her side. All right, let's go. Ben and Halvat are just passed out on the counter. 13 is just kind of standing there. I'll get them to bed.
Okay.
Mary Mac is once again drooling on the coffee table.
See you later, Ed.
Roger takes you guys out to the ship. Jensung just kind of like is doing some last checks. She's like, okay, make sure the cat's all right. Charlie, behave. Just kind of. He'll be fine.
Roger, that's gonna fall to you.
What?
Taking care of the cat.
Okay. Kind of goes over to her little like Kronk tent that she has set up. Goes in there. You guys can set off for the Fall Off Flats.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Let me roll a d10 for me.
I'll do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, favorable winds. You guys always roll really
Go.
well for those. It takes you like an hour and a
Yeah.
half to get over there.
Wow.
And you kind of
Guess so.
touch down at the gridliner dock, and you can see this whole area is aptly named because it's just like sand just flowing off the entire peninsula down here, off to the ocean below. It's kind of an odd looking area because you can see these sand dunes and kind of desert landscapes, similar to what you guys saw in Shavirik, but the whole thing is covered in this just kind of perpetual sandstorm. And you just kind of set down on the edge, on the precipice there, where the gridliner dock is. You can see there's a pretty visible trail to the north. That seems likely to be the place where folks would travel their caravans up to Flat Run, but the rest of the whole area here is just covered in sandy wind.
This looks delightful.
Yeah, it's not great, but we can... There's a small tribe of Tabaxi that live to the southeast of here, on the edge. They're the ones that guided me last time. I think they will again. Just...
Instead?
Hmm?
Should we make landfall over there instead then?
Probably not. It's about an hour to walk there from here, but
Oh.
this is really the easiest place to land without getting off track.
Yeah.
We don't want this thing getting pelted by sandstorm winds.
No.
It would tear up the balloon, and then we would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I'll stay here with the ship. Right. Well, I will try to get us down there in a reasonable time.
I mean, it took them an hour to get here. We could probably just send them back, right?
I'll go back with the ship.
I was sending Stone to Captain Jensung, so...
Good. Just kind of nods, just kind of tips his little bowler hat that he has.
Damn it! Not the bowler hat. Not the bowler hat
Forgot.
bard.
Come on,
I
Fred.
totally forgot.
What?
Goes
Fred.
off with the bird.
Okay.
Fred and Roger fly off with Charlie. The name.
There goes two of my boys.
Fantasy, everyone. High fantasy.
Yeah, there's two Ophelias and then a Roger.
Roger, Fred, and Charlie.
Oh yeah.
You know, fantasy. Tolkien is rolling in his grave. She leads you through the dunes and sand. It is rather annoying to walk through this. Those of you with eyes have a difficult time with it. You just kind of have to, put your go goggles on and power through. The timely
That's a reference.
Pokemon reference for you there. I'm gonna find Regirock. You guys head on down there, and before long, you come to a small kind of divot, almost like a crater in the sand here. You seem to be on kind of the southeastern, not necessarily the southeastern tip, just kind of like around this part of the. Oh, I can't mark on that map. Hang on. On like this part of the peninsula, so not too far away from where you were before.
Mm.
And in this kind of divot, which seems to be protected from the worst of the sandstorm winds, there's just a small collection of very plain-looking tents. And you see some figures milling about, even though it's just before dawn at this point. There are some fires lit here, burning you don't know what, because you have not seen any sign of foliage whatsoever. But you do see some figures kind of moving about, fully wrapped with just the eyes free. But you can definitely see these lithe, cat-like forms with these prehensile tails moving about. There's probably about a dozen. Says, all right, let me talk to them. You stay out here for a bit.
Okay.
Just kind of heads inward to the camp, leaving you guys on this precipice of this crater here, probably 30 yards away. Not too far. But not within earshot, given these kind of howling winds around you. She heads in, and you see her kind of approach one of the tents, and after a brief bit, enter. And she stays in there for a while.
After she leaves, just take out our own tent and just put it up.
Okay. Kind of protect you from the worst of it.
Yeah.
She's gone for about 2 hours. The
Mm.
sun comes up, you can see a little bit better, and despite it being the middle of winter, there is still some heat here. It was blisteringly cold before. Now it's just kind of warm. But she kind of approaches and opens up the flap of your tent with this very cat-like, black-furred person. Seems to have like a vertical scar where one of the eyes used to be. And is otherwise wrapped up in kind of Bedouin-type attire. Kind of says, right, pack it up. We're going.
Oh. Okay.
As you guys do that, you kind of hear this figure. This is the daughter? Yes, this is Tara. He will be interested to see her again. Yes, I thought he might be. Any others? Friends. Friends you trust? Largely, yes. Any you do not trust with the information of the scriptorium should stay outside. She just kind of looks over the group. Kind of looks at Rook. We can discuss when we get there. You know him. You know how he responds to treachery. Yes. Rook, a word in private?
Yes, of course.
Just kind of takes you over. I
Hello.
think, for your sake and
Yeah.
ours, it might be best if you remain outside when we visit the scriptorium.
I want to meet her.
I'm sure you do. But he is going to know if I trust you. And he will not respond well to the fact that I don't.
I not respond well.
I
What do
am
you
doing
mean?
this for your sake. And my daughter's.
Okay.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
Yes, I understand.
Cinder and Celeste have a background of research for positive intent for their own peoples. You're coming from a slightly more, I want to say, violent perspective. And
Yes.
to be quite frank, I don't think you're going to find anything that really interests you that much in there to begin with. Doesn't really have anything to do with your area that you're interested in studying.
Yeah, I don't really want to read anything in there.
So I think it's probably best if you just chill out outside.
I just want to meet her father.
Well, maybe he can come
Maybe
out to
don't.
see you.
Oh, okay.
Sure, honey.
Yeah.
I watch her rather frequently, right?
Actually, often I forget that.
I can tell. I've seen the things that you bring her into. I am not pleased with them. And he will
She
be
wants to come
very
along.
displeased with them. She's welcome to do what she likes. I'm telling you, as her mother,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
she's 16. She
Going
shouldn't
on
be
17.
She should not be accessory to as many murders as she is.
Well, most of the murders are self-defense.
Most of them are, and all of the ones that aren't involve
I
you.
commit.
I'm
I think
being
she's just a witness to the
extremely
murders.
cool about this right now, Mr. Rook.
Oh no, I understand.
I don't want you to die because, for some strange reason, she seems to like you and be rather attached to you. And that's also something that I think her actual father might take some umbrage with.
Why?
Do I need to spell this out to you? You're not her father!
I know that.
And she points over at Celeste, is not her mother!
I definitely know that.
And I want to make sure that she knows that.
I feel like she does.
I'm glad you do. Look, I have done a lot of things wrong. I want to try and do this right.
Alright.
Just
I'll
fucking
wait
stand
outside.
outside. Thank you.
Yes.
They return to the group. Alright, we're good to go.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
I assume my
backpack.
passive insight is enough to,
Yes.
to see
You know
fluster.
exactly what went on over there.
Yeah, can we perception of just like what's going on over there?
Millicent, you
Yeah.
definitely noticed Celeste
Yeah.
looking at Rook over there.
It's like,
I have some pretty good deception.
what you looking at, Celeste?
Oh,
You're looking at
scalding,
Rook.
burning.
I think lessons are being learned.
Yes, it's great. I'm loving this.
What are we talking about over
Sure,
here?
that's what it looks like. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
The tabaxi
Nothing?
just kind of heads off.
Oh.
I think we're meant to follow them.
Oh yeah.
Backpack ready.
Just kind of heads off. And you guys walk for about 5 minutes
Oh.
before you
Oh.
immediately come upon this enormous circular, and effectively what you're looking at here is the library from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Just
Okay.
a gigantic tower, kind of out of sandstone. The scriptorium awaits you.
What? It's just
Oh.
right here.
Wow, this was.
Do
I was going.
not try to leave this place. You will be forever lost in the desert.
Oh God. Okay.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm going to go inside.
Yeah.
Do we have to
Yep.
enter in any sort of order? Should she go first?
It does not matter.
All right.
Right, well, we'll keep this brief.
I'll keep a lookout out here.
Right.
You sure? You
I
don't
don't really
go in?
want to read anything in there, and well, go talk to your father.
Okay. Don't think much of that.
He just kind of nods to you, Rook, and just kind of mouths, "Thank you." And the four of you head in.
Mm-hmm.
You pass through this dark archway, sandstone tunnel, and it opens out into something that's not quite exactly what you thought you would see from a library. It seems to be an enormous hollow tower. At the center of this tower, kind of floating in the air, in the darkness here, is what looks like this Celeste. You recognize it as an extremely complicated astrolabe. It's just kind of glowing faintly with this bronze light. Doesn't seem to be suspended by anything. And it's suspended over a lectern that's just kind of standing there freely at the center of this large circular room, probably 100 feet in diameter. And all of the walls here are just adorned with these circular holes, out from which all of them, there's probably several thousand, just poke these small scrolls. Standing at the lectern, there is a figure. This charcoal black skin, probably 8 or 9 feet tall.
Oh.
A red robe kind of covers the shoulders and just loosely drapes down. And he seems to be standing at this lectern, just kind of gazing down. Boulder-like figures, very jagged features, arms, enormously bulky. This thing looks incredibly strong. No hair anywhere, just kind of seems to calmly be reading. And he looks up as you enter. I've been waiting. Yes, well, I understand. Tara? Good to meet you.
Hi, Dad.
We have a lot to talk
Becomes
about.
like. Mm-mm.
And we'll go ahead and end there.
Oh! Oh no.
As you finally meet your father.
Oh no. Dad. Oh.
Meanwhile, outside, Rook is playing cards with this strange tabaxi man.
Yeah, fair.
Actually, I would say, looking at you, he pulls out a chessboard.
Oh.
But we will go ahead and pick that up next week. It's a little early, but that seems to be the right place to stop.
Yeah.
Feels good. Otherwise, we're going to talk for another 2 hours.
Yes. We're not going to have this attack on Rise until, like, Christmas.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
keep
perfect present.
cramming shit in, man.
Yeah.
We'll do it next February. We'll do it on Lindsay's actual birthday.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
right. This coincided like this past year.
Every
Like,
session will be an hour in
Yeah.
game time.
Yeah.
Surprise! It's time loop. Oh no.
Not again. I wouldn't
Not
think
again.
For a fourth time.
Not the whole game. We've already done that.
We've already done it. All right. Well, we will be back next Wednesday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That will be July. Jesus, that will be July
Wow.
6th. Holy cow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Until then. Hey, Steel Lumbago.